own position.
You
right?
said it's outside of the will of God because he sinned. We all sinned. It says that in scripture.
Okay,
So what's your argument?
Okay, so therefore,
What's your argument?
So my now argument is that you're contradicting yourself, right? Because
You're contradicting yourself. You're being a hypocrite.
I could tell you what your contradiction is. So first and foremost, not
Okay.
everybody has sexually exploited little girls. Don't know why you'd assume that. And second of all, right, you said that you'd stop supporting him as president if he did anything outside of the will of God. But now that I've been able to point out, right, something that he has done that's obviously outside of the will of God, you're just now arguing that you should still support him since everybody's done things that are outside of the will of God.
You just pointed out
So then I'll just re-ask the question. What is something that Donald Trump could do as president that would make you stop supporting him?
I just asked you a question and you're still being hypocritical.
Okay, ma'am.
When we talked about Trump, you brought up his sin. You brought up his sin and you're also a sinner. So now what?
Okay. Yeah, but guess what? I don't think that all wrongdoings.
So now what?
Okay,
and if we're talking about scripture,
can I speak?
I'm just saying, Dean, but if we're talking about scripture and you keep bringing that up, what does the scripture say?
I almost prefer the trolls more. Let me know when I have the mic.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
you just muted my mic 1,000 times.
So now that I have the mic,
and I let you speak.
So now that I have the mic, I need you to listen to what I'm saying. I asked you if there's anything Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him as president, and you responded to my question by saying, well, if he did anything outside of the will of God, I would stop supporting him as president, right?
Lies, cheats, and steals. And so do y'all in this live that's saying that.
Was that your answer?
Y'all are sinners as well.
You're not answering my question. I'm so sorry.
You didn't answer my question either. You deflected.
Do you not hear me?
No, I can't. I'm reading the comments, but I'll listen to you now. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. So I asked you if there's anything Trump could do that'd make you stop supporting him as president. And you responded to that question by saying, yes, if he did anything outside of the will of God, I'd stop supporting him as president, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if I could give you like one example of him doing something outside of the will of God, it would logically follow that you ought stop supporting him as president.
How if the Bible says that we're sinners? The scripture says that we're sinners. Like, what are you saying?
So then you're telling us.
The scripture says that.
So then
when you say what scripture, you can pull that up yourself. Scripture says that. We're all sinners.
So then why did you tell me that you'd stop supporting him as president if he did anything outside of the will of God? If you expect him to do
There's things that you can do that's outside of the will of God, Dean, and you have to look that up. Look it up.
Okay, so then why was that?
It's simple.
Okay. So then why did you even tell me that you'd stop supporting him as president if he did anything outside of the will of God?
Outside of the will of God.
But it doesn't seem like you really believe that.
Everyone sins.
But listen to me. Just listen to me. It doesn't seem like you really believe, right, that you'd stop supporting Trump as president if he did anything outside of the will of God, right? Keep in mind, I'm still just trying to determine if there's anything Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him.
You got your answer, so...
No, but I didn't, because just listen without interrupting me. The answer that you gave me was, well, if he did anything outside of the will of God. But as soon as I start giving you, stop talking. As soon as I start giving you any examples, just stop. Shut your mouth and just listen.
You gotta stop. You gotta listen. You gotta stop. You're mad at what God says, and that's a personal problem that you have to take up with God.
Do you think that you're actually portraying the will of God right now? Like, if you call yourself a Christian and you actually want to get across the message of Jesus Christ and the teachings of Christ, do you think the way that you're trying to portray it right now is going to bring anyone closer to Christ? Like, that's your mission as a Christian, right? Is to bring people to the cross. That's what you're supposed to do, right, Amanda?
And what have I said wrong?
Right, but the way that you're sitting here, but listen, if you're sitting, Amanda, please, Amanda, stop. If you're planning on actually even speaking as a Christian, shouldn't we be slow to speak and more to listen? Like, you have to slow down and actually allow Dean to speak to try to get this point across instead of just defending what you're saying.
Right.
Like you can't have a conversation like that.
But you're not seeing what Dean's doing on the back end. He's muting my mic and some more.
That's because you have impulse control.
Okay, so when I shut up and he cuts me off, how come you don't say anything about that?
Just check Amanda, just check this out. I need you to listen to me. Let me know when I have your attention.
Go ahead.
Okay, listen to every syllable of every word. I asked you. That's already an interruption. Could you keep those like snarky comments to yourself so you could so I could speak uninterrupted?
Go ahead.
Okay, seriously.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
Shut.
You're taking up a lot of time. You're not my father, so you can continue. Go ahead.
The attitude needs to go, and your ears need
Your
to listen.
attitude needs to go. You told me to hush my mouth like you're my father.
Oh my
No.
God. Oh my God, because you can't stop talking. Okay, Amanda.
Go. Talk.
I can't talk when you're talking, Amanda.
Go.
Then don't interrupt. So I asked you, there you go again. So I asked you if there's anything that Trump could do. Oh my fuck.
I'm not even talking to you, Dean. Calm down.
Okay.
I'm not talking to
you. But when you go, like it makes it a little bit hard to like.
I'm close to my phone. I'm sorry. I'm close to my phone.
Yeah, when you go, it just makes it like a little bit hard to like speak and know that I'm being listened to. So just control yourself. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So once again, I asked you if there's anything that Trump could do as president that would make you stop supporting him as president. And the answer that you gave was, well, if he did anything outside of the will of God, I would stop supporting him as president. So then I gave you an example of Trump doing something outside of the will of God by sexually exploiting women and girls. It should logically follow that in accordance with your argument, because he has done something outside of the will of God, you would stop supporting him as president. But then you followed that up by saying, well, that's a sin and everybody sins. So that refutation by saying that's a sin, everybody sins, is in fact refuting the original argument that you gave me when you told me that you would stop supporting Trump as president if he did anything outside of the will of God. Because what that tells me is that he could do many things outside of the will of God, like sexually exploiting women and girls, and you will not stop supporting him as president. So let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to the original question, and let's see if we could get a more fitting and accurate answer. The question is there anything Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him as president?
Are you done?
Yes, please answer the question.
Okay. I'm going to answer it again. When it comes to God and Trump or anything like that, like I said, we are all sinners. You're using his sin to lead the argument. You can do certain things when it comes to God as long as you repent. I'm not saying that you can do it intentionally, but as long as you repent, that is in God's word that you can be forgiven. No matter how bad that we think it is, you can be forgiven.
Amanda, the question is there anything Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him as president?
I told you if it was out of God's will, Dean. I told you that.
But don't these sins fall outside of God's will and you're still going to support him even though he sinned?
We don't know how he repents in private. You just talked about something from 2005.
Okay, so you're saying that if he does something outside of God's will and repents, you'll still support him as president?
I've said that from the start. That's what a Christian is. We are all sinners.
Okay,
we're all sinners as long as I'm talking, but you're...
So therefore, right, there is things that God can do, that Trump could do outside of God's will, right, that that will not make you stop supporting Trump given that he repented. So then the question is, once again, what is something Trump could do that would make you stop supporting him as president?
God.
Got to unmute.
My mic keeps being muted, Dean.
By me.
Why do you keep muting the mic?
Because you're really annoying, and it's kind of nice to have some peace.
But you're annoying to me too. Okay. But you're annoying to me too.
If Donald Trump raped a kid and then repented to God, would you still support him as president?
Well, this is the thing. I'm human. Like, I can't answer these questions as if I'm God. That's for God to decide. And if God forgives him, I'm still gonna...
with you. No. The question was literally on you, Amanda. The question was, would you still support him knowing that he did that, even if he openly said that he repented? Would you support him?
You guys keep saying that would I support? That doesn't have anything to do with me. That's for God to judge him on that. He has to take that up with God.
Oh my God.
He has to take that up with God.
Dude. The question is, would you still support him as president? You, not God. You, as supporting him as president. What? Oh my God.
I answered the question bestly that I can answer it.
You didn't, because you didn't tell us if you'd still support him as president or not.
I already gave you an answer regarding that. I said that's up to
really
God.
didn't.
What's up to
No,
God? Wait.
that has nothing-
Oh my God! Are you saying that
that's
your
up to
support?
God.
Are you saying that your support
That's
of him
up
as
to
president
God.
would be up to God?
That's up to God.
So you're saying that your support for him as president would be up to God?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. It's up to God.
Okay.
And if you have an issue with that, that's a personal problem.
How does God tell you should support him or not?
Discernment.
So wait.
So God.
Discernment.
What does this
The
even
Bible. You pray. What are y'all so confused about?
So basically,
and
what
you
you're telling
too,
us,
Santana. What are you so confused about?
Basically,
What am I
saying? Is if Donald Trump raped a child, if Donald Trump hailed Hitler, if Donald Trump bombed like Denver, Colorado, because it's mostly liberals, and genocided 2 million people, right? Your next step would be to pray to God and to ask God if you should still support him as president.
I don't let this stuff consume me as much as it consumes you. Trump's sin has nothing to do with me. That's for God to judge that. That's what I'm saying. That has nothing to do with me.
Oh my God.
That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but no one said anything about actually like, wait, Amanda, see, this is the problem that we're having because you're trying to use your religion and God as, some type of shield so you don't have to actually answer. Oh, you already kicked her?
Yeah, I Santana, I can't do it. So let me just like quickly tell you a little bit about my day. I sit down at noon. I start my live. Turns out I'm live banned on DNC Dean. Okay. I then say, well, maybe there's another account I could go live on. So I then look at my It's Not Dean account. TikTok tells me that I need to do one 25-minute live on there in order to unlock the live studio access to stream from my computer. I do that 25-minute stream. I then reapply for studio access and it says appeal, like not approved, right? Even though it told me that's all I needed to do to get that access. So then I reached out to Parker. Okay, I'm like, hey, do you have any accounts I could use? He's like, yeah, I got Marge's account. So then I go live on here, and then I spend the first 20 minutes talking to trolls. And then we finally get the first Trump supporter up in here for a debate in 2 hours. I've been doing this for 2 hours now, Santana. 2 fucking hours. Okay? And then they end up telling us, right, whatever the fuck Amanda was sharing. Like, oh my God. I want to punch a hole through my wall. I want to slam my fucking head into this desk. Okay?
That's fucking wild.
Like this is I'm on the edge right now. I'm really on the edge.
I could tell.
G-Man, do you support Trump as president?
Yeah, I support him largely because of pro-life policies.
Okay, so you're a big Maga guy. So do you think it was pro-life when he refused to abide by a court order to feed 16 million starving American children?
Whenever I'm specifically referencing pro-life, right, I'm going to be talking about abortion, and I don't necessarily support him whenever he's withholding these certain food stamps from Trump, right? So whenever I would have had the right to vote for him in 2020 and 2024, right, I wouldn't have had the knowledge or foreknowledge of him doing these type of actions, right?
Well, what does the prompt say?
How do you still support Trump? Yeah, I still support the Trump's pro-life policies on like Roe v. Wade, right? So I don't have to support. I don't have to support all of his policies.
Overall, is he a good president, or overall is he a bad president?
I would say he's decent. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then I guess like I just would ask you to answer my question. Was it pro-life of Trump when he refused to fund food stamps for 16 million American children? Was it pro-life of Trump when he passed the big beautiful bill that took 10 million people off of health care and did a very large redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich?
Again,
over half of America. Was it pro-life of Trump when he defunded food stamps permanently by 158?
This is a sweeping generalization fallacy, Dean. This looks really bad on you, right? So again, I don't.
Questions. Please define what a sweeping generalization fallacy is, and then tell me
a sweeping generalization fallacy is going to be where you're like generalizing an entire thing of like a pro-life position, right? And this is not exactly what the pro-life position that I hold to is going to entail, right? And then also it's a fallacy because you're presupposing that I don't support this pro-life policy of Trump, right?
Wait. So I just want to clarify.
I still support him.
Saying that
you're coming to a presupposition.
I just want to clarify. So I'm presupposing that your pro-life view here entails that children shouldn't starve, when in all reality, your pro-life view does not entail that children shouldn't starve.
Well, hold up. You're presupposing my pro-life view. I could give you my pro-life view if you want.
I just want to know, like the pro-life view, does it entail that children should starve? Or does children shouldn't starve?
I hold to a dispositional realist view that under my view, right, it would be whoever experiences more harm. So these children, them starving is going to be the utmost amount of harm because it's going to be conducive to their, it would be inconducive to their flourishing.
Okay, so it would entail that it's bad when children starve.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I wasn't engaging in a fallacy when I assumed that.
Yeah. Well, no, you're presupposing a view.
Oh, but you just told us your view entails said conclusion.
Yeah, but you're still presupposing a view.
So I was
that I wouldn't have necessarily held to.
Presupposing your view?
Yeah. Well, no, you were presupposing a view that I might not have prescribed to myself.
Oh,
right?
But it sounds like you do prescribe it to yourself.
Yeah, I do, but I'm saying you presupposed it. That's my issue here, right? It wouldn't have mattered if I would have given you my view and then you wouldn't have presupposed it, but you still presupposed it, right?
So are you saying, right, when somebody tells me that they're pro-life, I shouldn't assume that they think it's wrong when children starve?
Well, no, you have to understand their ethical view, right?
Right. Yeah. I really shouldn't assume that a pro-lifer thinks it's
you really
wrong
shouldn't.
With children. Yeah.
Well, because it's all based on ethics, right? Dean, what's your
What an idiot.
I think you assuming that pro-life people aren't good with kids starving is a bit presumptuous. I mean that's a bridge too far.
Yeah, dude, I really just shouldn't have assumed that the pro-life view entails that it's bad when children fucking starve. Yeah, no, totally.
Dean, what would you think of a Democrat versus Republican dance battle?
Do you support Trump?
What the people want to know. That's what the people want to know, Dean.
Yeah, Democrat would sweep. All right, moving on to the next guest. We got Brian loading up into the box right now. Over on YouTube, thank you so much for the $20, Rapunzel. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Rapunzel. If you guys could please show some love to Rapunzel down below in the chat for the $20, it'd mean a lot. As well as Democracy, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, who says, well done, Dean, your mission is obviously complete. I think that they sent that when we had like 30 minutes worth of like trolls. Yeah, that would be a complete mission. Phoebe, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo, who says, Dean, you've really been through it today. Thank you for being here. Oh, your message cut off. Thank you for being here to make the world a better place. Your lives make my day. Oh, thank you so much, Phoebe. That means the world. Show some love to Phoebe in that chat. As well as Jacob, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, we got to stop teaching religion to people younger than 20. Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to like talk about and to teach religion to people younger than 20. Like, I really enjoyed my comparative religions course in high school, but I think it's like really like wrong to indoctrinate like the youth into it, right? Like literal like preschool at a private Catholic school. Like that's what happened to me. It's pretty fucked. Catholic, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo, who says she doesn't actually know scripture. Duh. Alfred with $5, Timothy with $5, and Taylor with $5. Thank you guys. And Robert, thank you so much for the $40 over on PayPal, my friend. Robert, that is so freaking kind of you. Robert with a $40 says, looks like you've had a tough day today. Just know that I'll be cheering you on no matter what. Tomorrow I will be 71 years old, but I will always be watching your 7-year-old Robert. Well, first and foremost, Robert, you share a birthday with my mom. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday. Happy early birthday to you. We love you, Robert. You've been watching forever. I really appreciate you, man. Please show some love to Robert. We fucking love you. Okay, you're the official stream grandpa. And then Jennifer, thank you for the $6. Andrew with a $5, and Ramona with a $5. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Ramona with a $5 says, I love your new Christmas background. It looks so festive and cozy. Yeah, you can really see it on YouTube real well since you got that wide frame. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, if you're watching and you want to support me, show some love. You can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, and in the pinned message over on YouTube. What's going on, Brian? Do you support Trump?
I do. I've been watching your live streams for a while. Actually, I got on one of them, and then you had to kick me because I was driving at the time. I'm not right now, so we're all good there.
Perfect. So tell me in Santana down here why you support this tyrannical predator president.
So, like I said, I've been watching your stream, so I'm starting to come towards y'all's way. So my question is, I'm not politically that smart, so bear with me here. You have talked about them taking away food stamps and like healthcare. So, and y'all see that as a very bad thing, but is it all that bad with the fact there has been people abusing the system and certain people shouldn't have it that did have it?
Oh my God. Okay. So first and foremost, I don't even know what abuse would look like for Medicaid. Okay. Like what does that even look like? How about we start there? Tell us how somebody could abuse Medicaid.
That's a great question. So I've just been told that there's people that have it that shouldn't have it. Either they make too much money, but there's certain ways they still get it, or stuff like that. Like, you're talking about free healthcare,
can you
right?
give us like an example? Can you give us like a realistic example of how one would abuse Medicaid?
So let's say someone, for instance, makes above the average human. So let's say like 40,000 plus, and they have a good enough job where they can get insurance that way, but they don't like claim any of that, and they still try to get free health insurance when it should be people in their lower income bracket that should be getting it.
Okay, so like the income of recipients is verified, right, per the guidelines set forth by our federal government and state government. So I don't think that that's going to be.
So like, what if you work under the table?
Oh, okay. So you're basically saying if individuals work under the table,
correct,
right, then maybe they're going to turn around and abuse Medicaid. Well, wouldn't the solution there be to crack down harder on people that work under the table compared to just taking Medicaid away from 10 million low-income Americans in a broad, sweeping policy to defund Medicaid by over $900 billion over the course of the next 10 years to further fund tax cuts for the top 1%?
I would agree.
Right. Like,
I would agree.
Saying that the way that we take care of, right, like people that work under the table to receive Medicaid is just to take Medicaid away from everybody, is to say that we should really crack down on the people that will, like, I don't know, drive on public roadways in a non-registered vehicle by just taking the ability to drive on public roadways away from everyone.
Or we could even target those companies, those corporations, those top 1%ers that exploit those people that actually need those benefits, that take advantage, like who are that fall in a category that they find it better for them to take advantage of versus actually quote unquote doing it the right way. Like, why aren't you targeting those businesses and corporations?
That's a very good question. They definitely should. There definitely needs to be a better system. Unfortunately, that would also just take a long time to then be proficient once they do.
Right. And then just like, once again, to keep in mind, Donald Trump's cuts to Medicaid, food stamps, so on and so forth, none of them were to target abuse.
It was just take away overall?
Yeah, like for Medicaid. It was just an overall push to defund it by $900 billion and to impose a new work requirement. That doesn't target abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about food stamps? So I know there's a lot of women out there that have like a lot of kids and they end up getting food stamps because they have like so many kids, but they still work a good job. But when you say like
what
that
do you
those
to be a good job?
Say again?
What do you consider to be a good job?
I'd say anywhere from making 40,000 plus. At least in my state. I live in Arkansas, so in my state, I would say making 40,000
yeah,
plus.
If you're a single mother of like 5 children, making $40,000 per year definitely puts you in an income bracket where you need food stamps, you need Medicaid, maybe even some Section 8.
Yeah. No, I get that. I know that because I have 5 siblings.
Right.
4 siblings. Sorry.
Right. And then once again, right, like the cuts to SNAP benefits were also not to target abuse. Donald Trump just defunded them by $156 billion over the million dollars over the course of the next 10 years to take 3 million people off of them, while also imposing a new work requirement for the elderly. That doesn't target abuse, right? So it's like, I don't even know where this talking point from the right came from, that Trump is targeting the abuse on these social safety nets, when in all reality, he's just defunding them and imposing wacky work requirements on them to kick people off to reduce their expenditure.
Going after the people with abuse.
I don't even know where abuse comes into the picture.
I'm not saying he's targeting the people that are abusing it. I know he just took away from everyone, but I'm saying is it such a bad thing that he did that so they can kind of restart? Well, they should restart, at least in my opinion.
So do you know how much widely acceptable fraud there is when it comes to SNAP benefits?
I personally don't. I don't have any of the statistics.
Yeah, in 2025, I'm sorry, for the last fiscal year, it's shown that there was less than 1.5% of fraud, and this was speculative fraud. Now, do you know what the PPP loans are?
I don't.
Okay, so the PPP loans were these loans that were given out during COVID that allowed business owners to take advantage of like payroll and all this other stuff. And there were a lot of like people, Congress, business people, like a lot of people took advantage of that. And did you know that there was about 17% fraud that occurred during the PPP loans?
I did not know that.
Yeah, so like it's interesting that we talk about like people who need help with food assistance with the SNAP benefits where, there's like less than 1% of fraud, but yet there's a widespread fraud when it came to the ultra wealthy who took advantage of these other loans, totaling $64 billion. and actually 200 billion if you include the IEDL. But like the amount of fraud across the board is absolutely wild, but no one's talking about the rich people that engage in fraud.
Or the fact that there's actually a lot of fraud to do with food stamps, a lot of fraud to do with Medicaid, right? Not driven by the low-income Americans that are reliant on them, but rather driven by the multi-billion-dollar, the trillion-dollar corporations that will employ, right, like such a large percentage of our labor force. I think that Walmart alone employs like 3%. That will intentionally pay their employees lower wages so they can qualify for those systems of benefit like food stamps. So then the government can help subsidize their paycheck. That's if you want to know about widespread fraud to do with food stamps, widespread fraud to do with social benefits, look no further than the example I just gave you.
So what you're saying, so like you're talking about Walmart, for instance, they pay a certain amount so that they can qualify for government assistance, right?
Yeah, so they basically force their employees into needing government assistance, so then the government can help subsidize their pay.
I can 100% agree with that. I could definitely see that. But I also believe like that's not just Walmart, obviously. That's like hundreds of thousands of companies doing that.
Well, the reason I specifically, isolated Walmart is because Walmart is single-handedly the largest private employer in this country.
So, in your opinion, what should?
So why don't you focus on that? Why are you like focusing on fucking over the low class, taking their healthcare away, taking their food stamps away, saying they deserve to starve, saying they deserve to die? They shouldn't be able to get that preventative care for this chronic illness that will develop since they can no longer go to their annual physical, since they no longer have health insurance to pay for it. Instead of focusing on these trillion-dollar megacorps that are intentionally paying their employees lower wages, forcing them to qualify for these social safety nets, so then the government can help subsidize their payment, right? This is corporate welfare, okay? The corporations are the ones taking vast majority of the taxes that you pay directed towards these social benefits. The corporations are the ones forcing people into conditions intentionally so they will have to qualify for their social safety net so the government can help subsidize their payment. And the corporations are the one, right, that are bleeding your pockets dry by forcing you to give them your tax dollars when they're already worth trillions, right? Like the low income single mother of 5 that receives like $10 a day on average to pay for her and her 5 children through SNAP. She's not the problem.
Yeah.
In fact, she's a victim of the problem. She's a victim of her employer paying her, below the poverty threshold in the state, so she can qualify for those benefits.
I was like point out people are saying like I blame poor people. I don't blame poor people. I'm poor myself. I work a minimum wage job just like everyone else. For not everyone, but most people, right?
Well, I would just say you want to focus on what Dean is saying, not the chat. I mean, you're up here on the panel with us, but
you're right.
So, I mean, like if you fall into those actual categories, then why would you support Trump? Because like he's actively trying to harm you. Like that doesn't even make sense.
The best way to put it is I don't use government assistance for anything. So I still make it without it.
If you're making minimum wage in Arkansas, you definitely qualify for it.
No, I know I qualify. I just don't use it because I don't see a need to use it. I still make a living, and I just work extra, like other jobs, side hustles, stuff like that.
Do you live in your parents' house?
I don't.
So you're saying that you pay your own rent, you pay your own bills for grocery.
I've been doing it since I was 18, yeah.
And how much money do you have left over at the end of every month?
At the end of every month?
Yeah.
I roughly still save like $500.
Okay. So you basically save $500. So if you were to be hit with a medical expense, you're fucked. If you were to meet a woman, get married, and then have children, you're fucked. Okay?
I mean, I have a girl, she works too. Now she does make more than me though.
Right. Oh, okay. So basically, you're saying that some of the payment for, like maybe the rent, correct, is like subsidized by your partner's income who's higher than yours.
Yeah, we work together.
So imagine if you didn't have that partner, would you be fucked?
Yeah. I wouldn't say so. So I've been in 2 relationships prior to the one I was with now, where I was the only one working, and so I was still somehow able to afford everything and still live. Now, just during that time, I wasn't saving as much though.
Yeah, but why is it that you are like people aren't meant to just work?
Wait,
right?
whoa. Arkansas minimum wage is $11 an hour.
Lower.
Multiply that.
It's 11, but I don't know. Most places you go to are going to pay 12. That's what I make.
So you make less than $2,000 a month, like gross income before.
I get tips too. I mean, I work at a barista. I'm a coffee person, so.
Okay, so you make around $2,000 a month.
Around, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying you could live off of $2,000 a month to pay for rent. You could live off of $2,000 a month to pay for food. You could live off $2,000 a month to pay your internet bill, your utilities, your electricity, your phone bill, your gas for your car, insurance for your car. I don't see it.
So here's the thing.
The math doesn't math there.
I
keep
totally
in mind,
understand.
that's pre-tax. That's pre-tax.
Yeah, I know.
Right? You got health insurance too, right?
I don't pay for health insurance.
You're on your parents still?
No.
So
I just don't have health insurance.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Holy smokes.
Hey, listen, my mom's a doctor. She gives me hell every day. I don't have health insurance.
But like, why do you think people should have to live that way? Like, that's the point that I was getting to. He
qualifies for Medicaid.
Exactly.
I just don't use.
Why wouldn't you want to take? Why wouldn't you take, like, you're literally, like, you do understand that you working, your actual tax dollars go towards these actual things. Like, this is made for you to be able to use it. And did you know, like, people taking advantage of SNAP benefits? Like, there's been over the last 10 years, 30% of people have been lifted out of poverty due to access to SNAP benefits. Did you know that?
Yeah, so it's just a thing. It's just the way I was raised. I feel like I can make it without,
but still, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, people aren't here to, like, just work and die. Like, that's not what we're here for.
No,
like,
absolutely.
There's more to life than that. And also, like, why shouldn't you, if your tax dollars are paying into these social safety nets, when you need these social safety nets, what you do now, like, you qualify for them, you should at least have health insurance. Why wouldn't you take advantage of those health insurance?
Yeah.
I'm just personally not one to do that. I mean, best way to put it that way.
Okay.
This is the way I grew up.
When you get a cavity, what the hell do you do?
When I get a cavity?
Tough it out, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, what the fuck do you do when you get a cavity? So I've been at points in my life, right, where I've been without health insurance. I think for the longest was 10 months, okay? And those 10 months were stressful as fuck. I remember getting a cavity during those 10 months and being like, I'm fucked, okay? And then I let that cavity develop. I finally got health insurance again, so then I was able to pay like the $100 copay to go get it filled, right? But you don't have health insurance. It doesn't even seem like you'll want it, right? Because you don't make enough money to pay for it yourself, and you look at the ACA as socialism and Medicaid as fuck all, right? So you just stay there sitting and doing nothing. So what the hell do you do if you get a cavity?
I'd save the money and pay for it.
Why?
It's just the way I was raised, to be honest.
Okay, so the way that you were raised is to, like, hate yourself and fuck yourself over.
No.
Yes. Apparently, your parents just raised you to hate yourself.
No, my mom and all of them have health insurance, and I was on it, and then I turned 18. So the reason I'm not on it is because I got married at one point, and so I'm no longer allowed to be on it.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, again, so when you talk about Medicaid, or even talk about like the ACA, right? We don't have universal health care in the U.S., but like other, developed nations, they give
like
access
Canada,
to
they have free health care.
Yeah, and but healthcare is a human right. Like, that's something that you shouldn't have to struggle for. Like, Dean made a great point. Like, we should be able to get our teeth taken care of whenever there's an issue. You shouldn't have to worry about, like, catching an ambulance and then spending, $3,000 just for an ambulance ride. Like, it's astronomical.
So dude's just like a hyper individualist. I have a question. If somebody were to break into your house, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Well, say of Arkansas, we have the castle law. I'd shoot them if they're trying to hurt me.
What do you do after you shoot them?
Call the cops.
Oh, wait, who pays for the cops?
We do as taxpayers.
the taxpayers pay for the cops, but I thought that you didn't like to rely on social safety nets. I thought that you were raised into learning that social safety nets are a really bad thing.
I'm not saying cops are a bad thing. I'm not even saying Medicare is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all.
You weren't raised to call the cops, buddy.
No, I wasn't. No.
Exactly.
You got to make a citizen's arrest.
Yeah, you got to make a citizen's arrest, pal. You got to make.
Well,
a
if they're
citizen's
dead,
arrest.
what else can I do? Just go bury them?
Apparently. I mean, I think just make sure to report the burial and follow all the laws about proper management of the body. Yeah.
Exactly.
That is.
I've luckily never been in that situation. But...
All right. Oh, what happens if your stove catches on fire? What's your first move?
To put it out.
Okay.
The fire extinguisher?
You can't put it out. The fire extinguisher is 5 years old because you spent all the money that you could have had to get a new one on that $3,000 trip to the dentist to fill a single cavity because you don't think that you should, apply for Medicaid even though you qualify for it. So you don't have a working fire extinguisher. What are you going to do?
Put it out with water?
Oh, God.
What if it's a grease fire?
Yeah, you throw water on it. It doesn't go anywhere. We're on a stove. It's a grease fire. What's your next step?
If it's a grease fire, well, at that point, call the fire people.
Who pays for the fire people?
I mean, I know we do.
So what's the difference between you being reliant on the use of firefighters who are paid for by the taxpayer to increase the quality of your life by putting out a fire that's spreading throughout your house, and you being reliant on Medicaid to increase the quality of your life by providing you more affordable health care?
I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right. I just don't use healthcare or Medicaid or they're the same thing, but
it's actually not smart that people think like you. Do you know it's actually really bad for the country because what happens is when we have people that are in need of food, right, and they opt to starve compared to applying for food stamps. People that are in need of Medicaid but opt to die from a chronic illness that could have been prevented if they were on Medicaid. Well, then we have a labor force that's smaller because more people are dying, more people are disabled, more people can't work because of these illnesses. And we have a less educated country because now all of a sudden, right, you don't have that time to focus on furthering your education because you need to spend that time working longer hours to pay for the food that could have been subsidized by SNAP, meaning that we have a less productive economy as a whole with lower skilled laborers. Right? These social safety nets aren't just designed to immediately help the low-income Americans that they're designed for, but they're also designed to help the country as a whole be better off, ensuring that on average, right, our citizens are going to be healthier. On average, our citizens are going to live longer. On average, our citizens are going to be smarter. And on average, our citizens are going to be at a lower likelihood of being unable to work due to disability, or chronic illness, so on and so forth.
So I drink water. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. Like I said, I've been watching you for a while now, and a lot of things you do point out are correct, or I agree with at least.
Go get fucking Medicaid, bro. Listen,
please.
The tax dollars that aren't going to be spent on Medicaid because you're refusing to apply for it are going to be spent on $3,000 drill bits for a single plane in some military base across the world.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're going to be spent on bombs to drop on pilots. Trust me, bro.
I was just about to say.
Yeah,
more military weapons.
Yeah, just trust me, bro. Okay, you abstaining from applying to Medicaid, right, is just hurting you.
Okay, I'll definitely have to look into it and apply and everything. So, can you, like I said in the beginning, I'm not educated fully on this. I don't read a lot into it. I just work a lot. So when they took away food stamps and Medicare, did everyone just lose it, or did they defund? People are getting less than what they were getting.
So 10 million people lost Medicaid outright because of the big, beautiful bill. 3 million people are losing food stamps outright because of the big, beautiful bill. And 45 million Americans are going to see an increase of 300% in their premiums for Medicaid, making it significantly more affordable due to the big, beautiful bill and the Republicans letting the ACA subsidies expire.
So how did they choose who lost it and who didn't?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be the government choosing who's losing it because it's no longer affordable to them because of the expiration of those ACA subsidies. But it is, in a sense, the government choosing who's losing it because of the introduction of the work requirement.
Okay. So,
I mean, do you think there's justification though? Like, it's not that, the country's cutting because they're trying to attack our national debt. It's literally they're looking for ways to pay for these tax cuts for the ultra wealthy.
Yeah, you understand that as soon as you get in those high income brackets, it's all about getting money from the government, right? It's like the Republicans. I don't know how you guys have done it. Okay, you guys have done a phenomenal job at furthering the propaganda that poor people are the problem, right? You're like shit. It would be an act of civil disobedience against the patriotism that I hold to this great country to file for Medicaid when I'm a low-income American making less than $2,000 a month pre-tax, right? But then for whatever reason, right, the top 1% spending the big bucks on all of the attorneys and tax accountants to find all the loopholes possible to make them pay a lower effective tax rate than fucking you, right? Alongside having the government subsidize the payment to their employees because they know that their employees are then going to qualify for these services, or having the government give them subsidies directly, right, to the extent of billions of dollars per year, right, is really where the social public welfare in this country is going to.
So, I am poor myself. I do think there are a lot of rich people finding the loopholes, but at the same time, I do believe that everyone has the same way of like finding a way to cut taxes or whatever they do.
That's not true.
To pay less in taxes, like everyone else can do.
Do you think that you have the same opportunity to like find the same loopholes that Elon Musk does?
I'll just I could just give like no, not even if you had the money. I'll just give you like a very clear example. Okay, that the opportunity that a business owner has to save on taxes compared to a business employee. If you went out and bought a TV tomorrow, would that in any way reduce your tax burden?
Buy a TV?
Yeah.
No. Because I don't have a business.
Yeah, all right. That wouldn't reduce your tax burden. If anything, it'd increase it because now you're paying sales tax. If a business owner goes out and buys a TV, well, if they just call it a therapeutic tool to, increase relaxation to further productivity in the workplace, all of a sudden they have a $3,000 write-off. And if their effective tax rate is 40%, they're saving over $1,000 in taxes at the end of the year, right? So I mean, there's one really good example. Right. I just think that like corporate welfare for the wealthy and rugged individualism for everybody else, right, is not the way that our country should operate. But I mean, I don't really see this conversation really going anywhere else. Right. I apply for Medicaid and come to the right side of history. But I don't know if there's anything else that I really have to say to you.
Okay. Can I bring up a different topic then?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
Okay. So did you know back when Biden was president, you know how they're sending people to the border, military personnel, for instance?
Yeah, there's military personnel at the border under Biden.
Okay, so that was loud. While they were out there, they were just following what they were told to do by whoever told them, right? Well, there was a girl in the military on private land that was caught on security camera. I don't know the exact name of this person, but they were letting immigrants through, right? Sending them, I think like Washington, some place for them, right? A safe spot. And then the stuff got leaked by the owner of the land to like X and Reddit or whatever. And then that person was then given death threats. Do you think that was right?
What you're just giving me is a QAnon conspiracy theory. No, our military never went down to the southern border and let undocumented immigrants through and then facilitated their transfer to New York City.
Our military did invade Mexico on their beach, though, and plant American signs saying the Department of War down on the beach. So,
yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest. What's up, Jay? Do you support Trump?
Yo, what up?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How do you?
18.
What year were you born in?
February 1st of 07.
Okay. All right, yeah, let me thank a couple people here real quick, then we'll pass you the mic and you can tell us why. We got a couple people here. First and foremost, Addie, thank you so much for the $30 over on
Thank you,
PayPal.
Addie.
Thank you so much, Addie. Addie with a $30 says, how creepy did you find Henry from Stranger Things in this season already? I hope you enjoyed volume 1. Yeah, no, it was super cool. Yeah, no, Henry, I mean, I'm not going to give any spoilers, so I won't answer that
Can you hear me,
question.
Dean?
Yeah, I can. Just give me 1 second here, Jay. I'm going to put you on mute. But thank you so much for the $30, Addie. You were absolutely phenomenal. Let's get 300 Addie W's down below. And we actually have another one from Addie. Thank you for the $50 over on PayPal. Holy shit. Addie with a $50 says, I return. You definitely deserve this after the day you've had. All the love, Dean. Dude, Addie, I swear, you're like your everyday showing love. Absolutely love you, Addie. Thank you for the $80 in total. Dude, that is insane. I want to see 800 Addie W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much,
really
Addie.
quick?
Of
I've
course.
never seen Stranger Things. I have to admit it. Never watched it.
Great new season. New season's fantastic. But seriously, guys, show some love to Addie down below. That is ADDY. Matthew, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. Riley with the 20 cents. Elizabeth with the $5. And Riley with the $5. Thank you, guys. Then over on Venmo, Brittany, thank you so much for the $10. Who says, I understand what he was saying. I'm grateful I'm more educated and don't agree with it, but my dad is Maga and raised me the same way. We grew up poor, but he always taught us just to work harder and that it is shameful to get assistance when you can work. Yeah, I mean, just keeping poor people poor, keeping the rich rich. That's the mindset. Thank you for the $10, Brittany. Show some love to Brittany down below. And Jenna, thank you so much for the $5 as well over on Venmo. Vanessa, thank you so much for the $67 on Venmo. Holy shit, Vanessa. Yo, let's get 670 Vanessa W's down below in that chat for the crazy level of love. Vanessa with a donation actually says, my son said to send you $7. I listen every day and love what you do. I appreciate you so much, Vanessa. And Phoebe, thank you for the $15 who says, Dean, you've really been through it today. Thank you so much for being here to make the world a better place. Your lives make my day. Oh, Phoebe, I'm really happy that you're enjoying the live stream so far today. You have a good one. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I'll also go to throw them up at the top of the phone screen. And you can also find them in the pinned comment over on YouTube. But let's go to start the next debate at this point, folks. Santana, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Really quick, sorry. Yasleen, thank you so much for the 25. Adriana, thank you so much for the 10. You're awesome. Marlene, thank you so much for the 10. I always try. And Eugene, shushies, thank you for the 2. Sorry.
All right, Jay, go to take it away. Why do you support this terrible tyrant? Absolutely shameful predator.
Mainly just because I'm like, I grew up Jewish, and he supports a lot of Jewish beliefs.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's so bad for Jewish Americans. He's so bad for Jewish Americans.
But Israel.
Which is actually one of the reasons why he's so bad for Jewish Americans, okay? It fucking grows, okay? Anti-Semitism, right? Cultured like bacteria in a petri dish when you suggest that if you don't support the state of Israel, you're anti-Semitic. It inflames anti-Semitism in America and on the global stage when you continue to embolden and support the government of a Jewish ethno-state that is perpetuating an ethnic cleansing over the Palestinian people. Now, I disagree with anti-Semitism. I think it's completely wrong. Okay, right? Nobody should believe that if one is Jewish, then they support the ethnic cleansing the state of Israel is doing to Palestine. Nobody should believe that all Jewish
somebody just called me a Zionist because I said I was.
All Jewish individuals are responsible for the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian individuals. But, okay, there's a lot of people out there that aren't too intelligent that buy into the bigotry that are now more anti-Semitic than ever because they cannot make a separation between the Jewish people and in the state of Israel, because they cannot make a separation between the fact that it's possible to not support the state of Israel and to be Jewish simultaneously, right? So at the end of the day, I actually think that Netanyahu, I think that the state of Israel, and I think that Trump, right, are responsible for a growing level of anti-Semitism in America and on the global stage.
Yeah, you might be right on that. He might not like the Jews so much, but he's doing a lot of good for the country, really, and it just takes a while to show.
You didn't even
the good that he does.
You didn't even track my argument, brother.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Do you like turtles? I like trains.
Dude, 3 brain cells, maybe.
Mm-mm.
Through the
2 rocks whizzing past each other, not even click clacking.
Dean, it's me again. How's it going, Dean?
Who are you?
It's Jonathan.
I'm always dropping something. Did you come up here to
It's Jonathan. How's it going, Dean?
Come up here to ask me to have babies with Nick Fuentes again?
No, actually, no. I was just gonna say the green and black vape pen is pretty good, but
it's an anxiety pin, but it's great. Okay, goodbye. Anxiety. Evan, thank you so much for the $1 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for the love. Who says, I was raised Jewish, and it's so obvious to see how Trump and Israel is a threat to Judaism. Yes! Oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. Like, Trump and Israel are definitely a threat to Judaism, right? 110%. As well as Brittany, thank you for the $10 too over on Venmo. And Michael, oh my God, dude, thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Let's fucking go, Michael. Yo, listen, if you're tuning into the live, I want y'all to show some love to Michael down below in that chat for the $100. She says, treat yourself to some Orange Crush tonight. Dude, I'm going to be able to buy so much damn Orange Crush with $100, Michael. That is so incredibly kind and just insane of you. I do not deserve a penny of that. I want y'all to spam some W Michaels down below in both of those live chats for at least the next 10 minutes straight, guys. Thank you so much for the love, Michael. What's going on, Bald Eagle Step Daddy? Do you support Trump?
Yep, that's my name. Yes, I do.
What a name, brother. What a name.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anything that Trump could do that make you stop supporting him as president?
Yeah, I'm open to change. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot, actually. Yes, a lot.
What if he like sexually exploited women and girls?
If you can prove that, I would withdraw my support.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one should be quick then. Can we agree that the definition of sexual exploitation would include the abuse of one's position of power over the position of vulnerability of one else in the furtherance of unconsensual sexual conduct?
I think simply, very easily, yeah. I mean, you can't argue that. I mean, that's insane. I don't see how you could debate that. But wait. Before you show me, can I explain why I supported him?
Well, I mean,
I could wait.
I feel like you'd just be wasting your words, because if you're a man of your word, you shouldn't be supporting him here in about 30 seconds.
All before Dean shows the evidence, because you guys have a bad habit of backtracking and backing out. So we need a pinky promise from you.
If I could do my camera, I would show you my pinky right now and curl it up, you know. But
I got your pinky promise.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, I got a
pinky
pinky
is in the air and it's curled.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right,
so I got a pinky promise from you that if I could prove that he sexually exploited women and girls, you're going to take that red hat off. So you already agreed that the definition of sexual exploitation would include the abuse of one's position of power over the position of vulnerability of someone else in the furtherance of unconsensual sexual conduct. An example of this would be like the owner of a beauty pageant abusing their position of power as the owner to allow themselves to unconsensually barge in backstage to a woman's private-only dressing area to then take advantage of their position of vulnerability by looking at them naked, right, in the furtherance of unconsensual sexual conduct. Here's Donald Trump admitting to exactly that.
Are people arguing against that? Like, that's very clearly cut. Like, that's clear cut.
People argue against it every day, but I'm going to go ahead and play this.
That's why we made you pinky promise.
Yeah.
Country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
You pinky promised.
Wait, what was that last part he said? I didn't hear the last part. I mean, I heard everything, but
He said.
And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
What the fuck?
Yep. You pinky promised.
I mean, I never wore a hat, though. The hat's kind of cringe, but this is like I was like speed running denial. Wait. I mean, yeah, I can't support that.
Perfect. So you're no longer a Trump supporter.
Good on you.
I'll, yeah, I guess not.
He's unlocked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't support that.
Yippee!
You literally stun locked him, Dean.
No, man. Honestly, he just stood true to his word. Yay! Yippee! Oh, Chris, thank you for the confetti. It's a celebration. See, that, oh my God, that's like, that should be the response of people.
It should.
Instead
of them fighting back.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, if there's anybody in here, we got like 4K on YouTube, 6.7K on TikTok. I guess I don't really know like what percentage of you guys are return viewers. Have any of y'all ever seen, right, you know, the other billion people that have come up in here, said they'd stop supporting Trump if he was guilty of sexual exploitation, then end up defending the sexual exploitation? Oh, God. So that is how one should respond. That is what a reasonable person, that is how a reasonable person would react to hearing that clip. We're not Charlie Kirk. No, we're not Charlie Kirk. We're not Charlie Kirk. Get that out of here. While we move on to the next guest right now. Only op inside of that cube. You are an American adult that supports Trump as president. What's going on, Marie? Are you MAGA? Lily, are you MAGA?
We are Dean with our sweet Carrie.
She sounded like a decent singer, but banned. Hello, Navi.
Definitely practiced that one.
Yeah, I know, for real. What's up, Navi? Do you support Trump?
I didn't expect to get on here.
Okay. Well, don't worry. I'll take you off. I got you. Moving on to the next guest. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. My bad.
No worries. No worries. I need to text my girlfriend back, so we better get another Trump supporter up in here ASAP. All right, guys. Only op inside of that cube. You are an American adult that's pro-Trump. Hello, do you support Trump?
I do.
And how old are you?
34.
Okay, we'll have a good conversation. How about it? Let me thank a couple people here before I pass you the mic. Hannah, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, keep fighting the good fight. People like you give me hope for this country. Oh, thank you so much for your love, Hannah. Show some love to Hannah down below in that chat if you're tuning in on TikTok or YouTube. Serena, thank you for the $5. Evan with 1. Thank you, guys. If you're watching and you want to support me, want to support the stream, want to support what we do here, you can find the V and the P right there. Link tree in the bio on TikTok or pin message over on the YouTube stream. Get 100% of those proceeds. They go right to me, and you could even attach a message so I could read off your name on live. All right, why do you support this predator as president? The felon, the 34-count convicted criminal.
Well, first of all, are those real donations, or are those you just call out people's names and pretend you're getting money?
Nope, they're real donations. Yep, they're real. They're real donations from real people. Do you think they're fake?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of seems unlikely that you really get that many throughout the day, but
I don't know. It just seems like you're jealous. I could get many more, right?
I am jealous. That's pretty awesome, actually. I am jealous. I wish I didn't have to go to work.
Oh,
just can I say W's in the chat for Danielle for the 15 for doing all the good things. I appreciate you, Danielle.
Well, I mean, this is my job, so you know.
You call that a job?
Yes, this is a job. I do call this a job. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you were asking why.
Hey, Phoebe, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Phoebe says how to send another fake donation. Appreciate you so much for that love, Phoebe. Show some love to Phoebe down below in that chat.
See, you just added that in there. Okay.
Well, she just sent it through. I thank people as they donate.
Sure she did.
Wait, do you want me to show it to you?
Yeah.
Joshua, thank you for the $10. James, thank you for the $20.
Don't be bad, Faith.
Oh, we'll see.
Are you a little jelly?
I'm just saying I could do the same thing.
Okay, so
it seems like you're a little bit jelly.
Yeah, so you said that you got $20.
I told you I was.
Okay, so you said that you got $20 from a guy named Joshua, right?
No, I made it up just like you do.
Okay, well, if I made it up, give me a second. I want to make sure I exit out her face here. If I just, made Phoebe's donation up, question for you. How do you explain this?
Are you pulling up a screenshot you took the other day?
Nope, this is the one I just thanked. Phoebe with a $5.
It's blurry. I can't see what that says.
See
it says
now.
$5. Yeah, I see that it says $5.
Yeah, or Cammy, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal, who says, show her this fake donation. Cammy, thank you so much for the $20. Let's get 200 Cammy W's down below in that
You're
chat.
right.
Oh, what about
That's
this?
big.
Oh, here's the $20 through the fake donation.
That's why I did
Or John, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal for the fake donation. Thank you so much. Or Addie, that is ADD1. Thank you for the $30 over on PayPal. $30 fake donation. Addie! Insane. Addie with a $30 says, ah, yes, I'm a robot sending fake donations every day. Anyways, we love you, Dean. Y'all better listen to her. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for the $30, Addie. And Vanessa, thank you so much for the $5 for the fake money. Camilla with the $20 who says, here's some fake money for your fake job. Thank you so much, Camilla. Or Hannah with the $20 who says, here's another $20 because clearly I'm fake and this is a fake donation. Thank you for the fake money, Hannah. Let's get 200 W's for Hannah. And $500 for, 500 W's for Iris with a $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Let's go, Iris. Let's get 50 big booms down below in that chat. Iris with a $50 super chat says, this isn't real. You're literally dreaming right now. I'm literally dreaming right now, Iris. Seriously, thank you so much for the $10. Or Democracy with the $10 who says, of course, the Trump supporter denies reality. Carol with a $10 who says, thank you for doing this real job. Thank you, Carol. Susan. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm about choked because I'm so thankful for Susan and the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Susan. Susan didn't attach the message. Only the love. Thank you so much, Susan. We're Brandon with a $20 over on super chat as well who says, this is a real donation. Thank you so much, you guys. Or Scary, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. He says, I'm not real. Thank you for not being real. And thank you for the fake donation. Lindsay with a $10 who says, here to piss off the guest with my fake donation. Thank you for the fake money, Lindsay. Sean with a $20 who says, I love it when this happens. Here we go. Thank you so much for the $20, Sean. Show some love to Sean down below in the comment section. Or Frankie, thank you for the $3 for the fake donation. Alexis with a $15 here saying, here's some fake money from the DNC. Sarah, thank you for the $5. Josh with the $5 is a fake donation. Patsy, thank you for the $30 over on Venmo. He says, here you go. Oh my God, Patsy, you're fucking awesome. Show some love to Patsy down below for the $30. And Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L. Michael, thank you for the $100 donation on PayPal. Holy fuck, Michael. Michael with 100 big ones. That is so incredibly kind of you. Michael says, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Maga knows how to make it rain. Dude, Maga sure does know how to make it rain, dude. This is all her doing. And I'm very thankful
Dean,
for you making it rain, Michael.
You know who else knows how to make it rain?
Who?
I love you and Santana so much. I was just trolling to get you money, honey. But you know what? That's amazing.
Oh my God.
That's fucked up.
You can't do that. You can't do
that. That is fucked up.
You can't do that. Okay. You cannot do that. Okay. Honey, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you for the love. You can't do that. Okay. What are the chances? What are the chances that she was just lying? What are the chances that she was just lying and she wasn't actually trolling? Considering the fact that that is like seriously the worst thing that one could say in that scenario. Like what if she was like actually a Trump supporter and she was lying when she said that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, if she actually was a Trump supporter, I couldn't think of a better thing for her to say in that scenario. Like she came up here, she starts being an asshole, right? She gets absolutely quadruple whammied, right, by like all of you guys, which by the way, seriously, guys, thank you so much for the love, right? And then she says that, like, there's just nothing that she could have said that would have been worse than that. It might have just been a cope.
Yeah, and I just FYI, a couple of people, Stacy, thank you for the 5. Kelly, thank you for the 5. Stacy, I'm sorry, AJ, thank you for the 5. Elaine, thank you for the 10. Stephanie, thank you for the 10. Plant, thank you for the 10. And Clarice, thank you for the 5. And yeah, like if that was the case, that was really fucked. But I could see that being a cult because she was adamant about how she felt.
Should we
she was absolutely adamant. Should
we listen back to what she sounded like when she first came on live to see if we could pick up on like any tonal indicators that she was trolling? This fake donation. Yeah. Do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah.
200 Cammy W. No worries. I need to text my girlfriend back. All right, guys. Before I pass you the mic, Hannah Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Who says, keep fighting the good fight. People like you give me hope for this country. Oh, thank you so much for your love, Hannah. Show some love to Hannah down below in that chat if you're tuning in on TikTok or YouTube. Serena, thank you for the $5. Evan with 1. Thank you, guys. If you're watching and you want to support me, want to support the stream, want to support
She
what
should
we
be
do
popping
here,
in here
you can find the
soon.
V and the P right there. Link tree in the bio on TikTok or pin message over on the YouTube stream. Get 100% of those proceeds. They go right to me, and you could even attach a message so I could read off your name on live. All right, why do you support this predator as president? The felon, the 34-count convicted criminal.
Well, first of all, are those real donations or are those you just call out people's names and pretend you're getting money?
Nope, they're real donations. Yep, they're real. They're real donations from real people. Do you think they're fake?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of seems unlikely that you really get that many throughout the day, but
I don't know. It sounded like she started off really jealous and condescending, and then even the whole thing when she started calling out fake donations of her own. You know, like it wouldn't shock me if she did that on purpose, and at the end was like, "Oh, actually, I love you guys." Like,
I don't know.
She
It
had
seems like you're
already
jealous.
lied
Like-
about donations.
Yeah, could get many more, right?
yeah, I am jealous. That's pretty awesome, actually.
Oh.
I am jealous. I wish I didn't have to go to work.
Oh,
just
I feel like if she was trolling, then she wouldn't have said that she's jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's a toss-up. But anyways, seriously, I really fucking appreciate you guys. Let's go to move on to the next Trump supporter right now. I really appreciate you guys. We've had a couple of people like say that before. This other guy, he came up here and after he was like, hey, like, you know, like you suck, Dean, your donations are fake. Fuck you, you're paid by the DNC. Then after, right, y'all started making it rain. I appreciate the hell out of you guys for that, by the way. He then went on to say that, like, oh, Dean, remember how you literally paid me to come up here to say this?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Well, it didn't work because he was really unintelligent. He couldn't make it seem genuine. So I don't know. Anyways, Dylan, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Dirk or Peen? Let me know.
Dude, you are so chronically online. Grass or school? Let me know. You choose neither because you'd rather sit inside of your bedroom until 3 a.m. injecting Mountain Dew into your veins, playing a good mix of Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Fortnite.
Clarice, thank you for the 20. I love you way more.
Dude, did you guys see that Charlie Kirk tweeted out, like, just solo word, it's very ominous, tweeted out Dirk in 2013.
No, when?
2013. Oh. He tweeted out Dirk. Yeah. Crazy work. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, guys. On the opposite side of that cube, you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. I still got even more people to thank, y'all. Courtney, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Says fake news. Appreciate you for that love, Courtney. Anna, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much, Hannah and Courtney. You guys are awesome. Then Scrawny, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. He says, wait, does this mean that I'm actually real? Yes, you're a real boy. You're a real girl. Whichever you're a real person, whichever one you are. Thank you so much, Frosty, for the $10 over on PayPal as well. It says lots of love from England. Lots of love to England. Thank you, Ella. That's her name. Thank you so much. Let's get 100 Ella W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. Then Odine, thank you so much for the $10 as well on PayPal. Thank you so much, Odine. Moya, that is MOA. Thank you for the 45 SEK. Those are Sweden currency value things. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mia. I'd also like to thank M with a $1, Catherine with a 3, Paula with a 5, Anastasia with a 5, and Charlie. Thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Jesus Christ, Charlie. Wait, their name is Miriam. Okay, Charlie with a $100 says, hey, Dean, it's Miriam here. Have some fake money. Miriam, that is so incredibly kind of you. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving, Miriam. I love you. We all love you. You've been showing some crazy love over the course of the last couple months. Thank you so very, very much for the $100 donation. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much, Miriam. As well as Madeline with a $1 over on Venmo. We're all caught up. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, top of the phone screen, and pin message on YouTube. What's going on, Kiki? Do you support Trump? Kiki, hello? Kiki's not here, quite frankly.
Do you love me? Are you riding?
Are you singing Drake right now?
Yeah.
That guy,
Yeah.
dude. Even his song lyrics piss me off. I'm a day one Drake hater.
I used to like him. He sucks a lot now.
Dude, I don't know why. Something about Drake has always annoyed me. Right? Even before the beef.
I get it.
Even before Millie Bobby Brown. Even before Kendrick. Right? Something about Drake has just always just like struck me the wrong way. I couldn't tell you what or why, but it has.
I don't like how he constantly attacks women. Like, have you ever noticed that? Like, he has beef with like Megan Thee Stallion and Serena Williams, and
I guess I don't pay
like
too
it's
close
just
of attention
weird
to him. I don't pay close
it's
enough
weird.
attention to know, but yeah, it falls in line with the character. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I'm not feeling Drake.
You know he's gonna see this now and make a song about you.
Yo, yeah, but don't worry, don't worry. I'll just have to bang Kendrick's line, shoot him a DM, say, "Let me get you on this track. We're gonna hit back. It's gonna be fire." What's up, Christopher? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
How do you?
I'm 20.
Why do you look so pissed off in your profile picture?
I don't know, man. I'm looking down.
You just like look mad.
Use the furrowed brow effect.
You just look very bad. I don't know. You look mad. Okay.
I mean, I'm chilling, bro. I'm a very relaxed fellow, as a matter of fact.
Okay. All right. Well, real quick, let me thank two people here, and I'll pass you the mic. First and foremost, Sadie. Thank you so much for the $5. She says definitely was a way to cope. She was embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe. But thank you for the $3. And Mr. William. Thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. William, that's so kind of you, man. William with a $50 says, trolling or not, here's some money to spend on your girlfriend. Thank you so much, William. I'm actually going to use that tomorrow night. I'm taking my mom out to dinner for her birthday. My girlfriend will be there too, so I guess it'll be going to the mom and the girlfriend. Thank you so much, William. Let's get 500 William W's down below in that comment section, literally right now. Thank you so much, my friend. Go ahead and take it away, Christopher. Why the hell do you support this terrible president? Absolutely atrocious.
I support him because he facilitated the necessary conditions to have Roe v. Wade repealed.
Have you been up here before?
I've been on Parker's stream. I haven't been on yours.
Did I debate
Can I ask him a quick question?
When you were on Parker's stream?
No, you did not.
God.
Okay, cool. Hey, how do you feel about mandatory vasectomies?
Mandatory vasectomies?
Yes.
In what case?
You're sitting here talking about facilitating the standards or whatever for abortion.
A mandatory vasectomy is absolutely not comparable to making abortion illegal, bud. If that's the argument
you're right. It's actually better. Did you know that vasectomies are safer, more effective? They're reversible. It's an outpatient surgery, just a quick snip, and you can actually go on about your way. Plus, you can actually freeze your sperm beforehand. It's reversible at the same rate up to 5 years. After 5 years, it starts to decrease, and it's more safe than any form of birth control, whether you talk about the shot, the pill, or IUD. So, and last but not least, if you want to even eliminate the possibility of unwanted birth, then you take away the actual sperm from the equation, and you can eliminate the need for birth control. So, with all that being said, why wouldn't you advocate for mandatory vasectomies instead of worrying about abortions?
If we're talking about that in the context of preventing birth, then that's understandable. I understand the argument that you're making. That would usually be a good argument. However, I do not advocate for using sexual intercourse as a vehicle for pleasure, period. It should be viewed purely sacredly in the context of
so you're just meat watching.
Meat watching? What the fuck are you saying to me right now?
Watching.
Yeah, he's watching the meat.
You're meat watching.
You are meat watching.
Like, you just worry. Exactly. What? That's weird, bud. Why are you meat watching?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Man, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I'm picking up what he's.
Are you a homo habilis? Are you literally like? What are you talking about? Dude?
What is that?
Whoa, okay. Got to tell us what these big words mean here, Mr. Academic.
Exactly.
What the hell is a homo habilis?
You guys don't know what a homo habilis is?
I actually don't.
That's why you guys are.
It's like a growth term.
Okay, that's a species of humans.
Homo habilis?
Like a Neanderthal or a Denisovan, yeah.
So the Homo habilis went extinct a long time ago. Why did you ask Santana if he was a Homo habilis?
Exactly.
Why did I ask him that? Because he seems a little bit intellectually inferior to me. I would say that to you as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, just because I won't debate you on women's uterus because
you're trying to make the argument to me that I'm meat watching. What the fuck are you saying?
You literally are. You said
I believe
wait,
that we use sex.
Bud, you're crashing. Slow down for a second. You're crashing. You came up here on some Phil bro shit, and then I hit you with like a real thing with an actual mandatory vasectomy where you can control men's body, but you're not interested in that. And so you tried to pivot to this whole holier
It's not
than thou
about
talking
controlling
about
women's bodies or anybody's
exactly. And so
bodies.
you
It's
tried to
actually
pivot
about
to
the
this
natural
whole
process
aspect of like
sexual intercourse.
sure,
and the
you try to
natural
pivot to this
byproduct
whole
of it.
point about it and being like this whole thing that's, you know, purity and all this, and it's not. You're just meat watching. Like, why should you control someone else's sex life just because you're not getting none? Don't mean that we don't want to get none. Stop meat watching. It's weird.
I'm chilling it actually, as a matter of fact, in that regard. Me and my woman believe that sex is a sacred act that is only necessary.
I guess so. Meat watch yourself. Stop meat watching other people.
Okay, well, if I don't meat watch the population, as you're putting it, then statistics are trending towards population inversion by 2030. So what do you make of that? What is our society worth if we're not trying to protect the sacred act of at least maintaining
tell me what you're doing to actually promote people actually having children. What are you actually doing to promote people having kids? Are you advocating for paid parental leave? Are you advocating for stronger social safety
yes,
net,
there should be more
universal health care? What are you doing?
There should be more government access. I'm sorry, the government should have a bigger push in general for incentivizing people to populate and to have a family.
I think that the Democratic Party does much better at that because they're the ones that support massive increases in the child tax credit. They're the ones that support social safety nets for low-income Americans. So, the leading cause of poverty in young women is literally becoming a mother, right? And that is a big reason why a lot of young women don't want to become a mother. So maybe we incentivize we take some of those roadblocks down by ensuring that new families are happy, well-fed, and have their bills covered through increases in the child tax credits, tax write-offs, and other incentives such as better social safety nets. And that's an idea.
I don't mind that idea at all, and I think we could have a different conversation if you guys didn't force people to come on here. Like, why can't we just come up here and disagree with you point by point?
Force you to come up here and meet watch.
No,
you did that on your own.
I'm not talking to you, bud. You're ignorant. Listen,
you came up to meet watch yourself.
What's your deal with Santana down here? What is this animosity?
Dean, we know what it is.
I think. Do we really know what it is? Dean. Is that really the argument that you guys are going to appeal to right now? He's an ableist. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Whatever you say, Santana, it has nothing to do with your race. I actually just think you as an individual are ignorant. Believe it or not, sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with your skin.
I hear you.
I don't know, man. Historically, just saying historically, Christopher, white men accusing black men of being a different species than themselves.
You guys view everything through the lens of race, and that's ridiculous. That makes you way more racist than you could ever be.
I'm just a rational guy. Listen, I'm just a rational guy. Let me explain it.
This is making an irrational argument.
No, I could explain how it's not. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
So if I roll a pair of die, and every single time I roll this damn pair of die, I'm getting a 6 on both face, and I roll this pair of die about 1.5 million times, and every single time I get a 6 on both face, right? I would expect the time I roll the die for the millionth and 1th time, right? I would get a 6 on both face. That's only like a rational conclusion to make. So when history's rolling the metaphorical dice, and we're looking at circumstances of white men accusing black men.
Okay, so this sounds like a racist argument.
Intellectually inferior due to being a part of a different species, right? It's always rooted in racism. So, I mean, now it's like the millionth and first time I've heard it. I mean, likelihood tells you it's worth a question. It's worth a ponder of thought.
What Dean is trying to say is you're a 6, bud, and not even a strong 6. Like, you're a mediocre 6.
I'm August.
You're a mediocre.
Likelihood tells you it's worth
6, bud, and mediocre 6.
Turn on my camera. That I can do. All right.
6 is on the PSL scale. I'd go like 4.75 on PSL. Yeah. Maybe if we're just doing like general colloquial ratings, I'd go 6. PSL,
honestly,
I'd go
I'm
like 4.7.
not here to debate you guys about the efficacy of how attractive I am to other people. But what I am going to debate you about is the fact that it is absolutely a racist argument to presume that because there have been racist white people in the past,
quick question for you.
That makes somebody more liable to be a racist.
Before you go into your whole points, what is race?
What is race? ethnicity, bud. Like the melanin in your skin.
That's not.
Yes, it is. Ethnicity very much makes up the foundation
it's
for race.
not. It's not. Race is a social construct that's created based off of phenotypical characteristics that was actually created to separate white people and non-white people based on said phenotypical characteristics.
Buddy,
Hey,
I think in the
question for you.
real world, we can all agree what a fundamental basis for race is. I think I look at you and you're a black man, and you can look at me and I'm a white man.
Like
and
if
we
you
kind of
if
refer
you
to each
if
other
you
as
can't
different
sit
races.
here and actually tell me what it is, then why should I have an intelligent conversation with you?
Why
about
are we
race
getting
or
into
racism?
conceptual arguments about
Because if you
race
don't
right
know
now?
what's
I think
happening, then why
everybody
should I talk
knows
about
what
it?
we mean about white and black
don't.
and Asian, and yeah, I think we do.
We don't.
I think anybody in the street would be like, "What are you talking about right now?" But
Can I hop in here?
go ahead.
Are you a virgin?
I'm not a virgin.
So you're a father.
I'm not a father.
Wait, but I
not
thought you
yet.
said that sex
I will be.
should only be.
I don't engage in
for purposes of
contraceptive
reproduction.
measures, but no, I'm not a father yet.
Oh, so you've like tried to impregnate your girlfriend?
I'm not necessarily trying to. We're young, but if it happens, it happens. So, I pull out.
So
I
what's
have
the purpose of
strong
it?
game,
What's the purpose of engaging in sex with her?
eventually to have a child and have a family, but I would
Wait,
not.
so then why would you
ever,
pull out?
Because we're not ready for that yet financially.
Okay, so
however,
then,
if
so
it
then
were
it's
to
not the
happen, I
purpose.
will assume the responsibility for my child.
Because you told us, right, that like you pull out, right, that means that you're not engaging in the action of intercourse for the purpose of reproduction, but rather for the purpose of pleasure. But earlier you told us that that sex should only be engaged in for the purpose of reproduction, and engaging in sex for the purpose of pleasure is like degenerate. So are you degenerate?
Solely for I'm saying solely for pleasure versus the eventual byproduct of having a child. No, I will not.
Well, it seems like
have
so it seems like you're trying to like mitigate that outcome by pulling out. So would you like accuse yourself of being like a half degenerate?
Hedonistic? No, sir, I wouldn't.
I said degenerate.
Oh, a degenerate? I'm not a degenerate for engaging. However, it would be degenerate to not assume responsibility for your actions, knowing what the possible outcomes of said actions are.
Well, I don't know. A possible outcome of getting an elective surgery like a nose job would be an infection. That doesn't mean if I go and get that elective surgery and I get an infection that I'm assuming responsibility for said infection.
Is that how we're viewing an infant?
Well, that's how
stating in the womb?
that's how we're viewing your logic. Nice.
But that's what
nice.
you're comparing it to.
Well, I know I'm actually just applying your logic. It's not a comparison being made to any other scenario. It's an application of your logic. You just said that it's degenerate, right, to not take responsibility for a potential outcome of engaging in an action that was foreseen. However, a foreseen potential outcome of engaging in the action of elective surgery, such as a nose job, would be an infection caused by said surgery. So therefore, if I get an elective nose job that yields the potential outcome of the development of said infection, right? Do you think I need to take like responsibility for said infection? Is that my fault?
I'm just gonna have to shut this down because this is a mute point that you're making because I still intend to have a child and take care of my child.
Hey, M-O-O-T, moot, not mute.
Thank you, Santana.
Well, I'm just saying if your logic follows. Like, so if somebody, right, like gets an elective nose job, knows that there's a potential outcome of an infection following the surgery, they get that infection, and they're like, oh, I really don't want this infection. This is not my fault that I have this infection. Are they degenerate?
You're degenerate for engaging in having elective surgeries done for your facial perception to others. Absolutely.
Okay,
I don't think that would be.
But you're not answering the question that I'm But you're not answering the question that I asked you. This would be a straw man fallacy.
Mm-hmm. You guys have. Repeat your point one more time for me.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Do you need me to hold your hand?
No, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll repeat it for a third time. So you said that an individual is a degenerate, right? If they get, if they engage in an action that yields a risk of a potential outcome, then they don't take responsibility for said outcome. So if I engage in the action of an elective surgery, such as a nose job, that yields a potential outcome of an infection on my nose following said surgery, then I get that infection and I'm like, hey, I really don't want this infection. I don't think it was my fault that I have this infection, right? Would I be a degenerate?
You wouldn't be a degenerate, but yes, you would then have to assume responsibility for the outcome of your actions. Yeah, I think that's how that works.
Okay, so there'd be assumed responsibility for the infection. So I'm responsible for that infection.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you mean by responsibility?
So you took an action knowing a possible outcome, and therefore any outcome resulting from that action is then your responsibility to take accountability for at the least.
Like a possible outcome of like driving on a public road is getting T-boned by a drunk driver, right? If I get T-boned by a drunk driver knowing that there's a potential outcome that was foreseen, am I responsible for getting T-boned by said drunk driver?
Okay, this is a fallacy right here. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's how I'm engaging in action that I know could yield
It's like
a potential a potential likelihood of this
You always do this where you try to give a separate point and then act like it applies equally applicable to every single scenario, as if like, okay, that's a social construct.
So then you're just saying that your logic isn't applicable in all scenarios where it could be implied. So therefore, what you hold to
therefore what?
Therefore you hold to an incoherent ideological position.
It's not incoherent whatsoever. Well, you know what's incoherent is believing that we keep aborting children.
What makes it incoherent is the fact that it is not true in all applicable contexts, right? When you're like operating off of it as if it is a logical principle, right? You're suggesting this principled position. The principled position is that like if you engage in an action that yields a potential outcome, and then that potential outcome occurs, you're responsible for that potential outcome, right?
To a minor extent, like I'm talking. If you
okay, so you're saying to an extent. You're saying to an extent, and then you make some like arbitrary judgment in your mind, right, to determine what that extent is and when it actually applies. So okay, so then I could assume the same principle. I'm gonna assume, right, your same like line of thought here. I'm gonna assume that if you engage in an action and it yields a likelihood for a potential outcome, that you're responsible to that outcome. But this principle doesn't always apply, as it only applies to an extent, and that extent is arbitrarily delineated by my own mind. So therefore, I hold to this principle, but I don't think it applies, right, to the context of pregnancy in relation to a man or a woman, as that would fall beyond my arbitrary threshold of extent of the principle.
I kind of lost you there. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, man. You came up and you're saying necessary conditions of overturning Roe v. Wade. Like those are Phil bro words. So then when I Phil bro out on you back, you can't follow?
Yeah. I can absolutely follow you. You don't make sense. So repeat yourself one more time, and I got you.
Listen, man. I remember being in like calculus my junior or sophomore year of high school, and I thought the teacher didn't make any sense. Turns out it's because I didn't do my damn homework, and he was a great professor.
Exactly.
Nah, I just kind of zoned out.
I tried extremely well, and I mean, I wasn't even trying to break down.
So explain it for us, Santana. Can you do that?
What? Why? It's not my argument.
Repeat what he just said.
No, seriously. Why would I explain the argument to you if you don't understand it? Like, am I debating this point?
I absolutely have the ability.
It doesn't seem like it. It seemed like you had.
It
seemed like you have the inability to actually track the argument, while Dean actually broke it down. So either it's that you don't understand, or you're just sitting up here and you know that you're
okay. So instead of repeating the point and allowing me to ascertain that,
he does that for people all the time.
Go ahead and answer. You know that your actual point is fucked, and that's why you're playing.
My point is not fucked at all. What's
okay? Then respond.
Bro.
Respond to what I didn't hear. I didn't ascertain.
Okay, I can try to repeat it. So you suggested a principle, right? If you engage in an action that yields a likelihood for a potential outcome, if that outcome occurs, then you're responsible for said outcome. But then when I gave you a scenario of your logic, being applied, right, that is unintuitive, right, such as the fact that when you engage in the action of driving that yields a potential outcome of getting T-boned by a drunk driver, according to your logic, you'd be responsible for getting T-boned by said drunk driver. You would share responsibility with them, likely. You said that your logic does not apply here. Then I asked you why. Then you were like, well, because it only applies to a certain extent, right? And then I responded to that by arguing, well, seemingly the extent in which you apply your logic is arbitrary by nature, and it's just up to your own subjective interpretation.
Absolutely, everything's up to subjective interpretation. Like not all scenarios are equally comparable.
So I think when it's when it's an arbitrary line left up to subjective interpretation in lack of good reason, it's incoherent. Right? And then I showed you how your logic could be incoherent. As I could assume your logic, I could also hold to the same position, right? That if you engage in an action that yields a potential outcome and that potential outcome occurs, you're responsible for it, right? But similarly to yourself, I will only apply this to an arbitrary extent. Therefore, I will not apply this to a pregnant woman. I do not think that she is responsible for that pregnancy, as it would.
So, Dean, do you in your day-to-day life do you in your day-to-day life legitimately apply your logic equally across all thresholds? In any given scenario, you're going to say, okay, well, I think one way about this thing, so now it actually has to apply to everything. That's caveman logic, and that's why I called you a homo habilis.
So that's actually what you call the Socratic method. I
This
don't know
thing
what to tell
mean
you.
this thing.
So the way that, do you know what the Socratic method is?
No, define it for me.
Okay, all right, and you're the one calling me unintelligent, buddy. Now we're in school again. So the Socratic method, right, is a method.
All right, bud. No, come on now, bud.
No, you seriously learned this in school. I'm just pointing
There's
out.
nothing unintelligent. It's been a long time. There's nothing unintelligent.
Okay. Wow, you seem to get really,
and you're a philosophy major.
You seem to get really hurt when I call you unintelligent.
Exactly, but you use the word mute when you're trying to actually.
I misspoke, Santana.
No, you didn't. You just didn't know the difference. Please stop questioning
I know what
people's
the fuck
intelligence.
the word
Humble
means.
yourself.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Humble yourself.
I literally watch politics all day, but I know what the word means. I've seen it.
You watch politics all day? How many people serve in the House of Representatives? Give me a rough ballpark. A rough ballpark's okay.
21.
Wow. Homo habilis down here.
Okay, because I don't know exactly how many people serve in the House of Representatives.
I said rough ballpark.
Okay, rough ballpark, I'm at 40.
6, 7.
40? No, there's like 435.
Okay, I don't know. I was just guessing anyways. It doesn't really matter.
Let's make it easier. How many senators are there?
It's 2 per state in every jurisdiction, right?
So how many senators?
It's like 1 to 2. I think it depends on how many.
So how many senators
So what's
do
the
we have?
number, bud?
How many? I would guess 100.
Good job.
Because there's
Good
2 per
job.
state.
Yeah, the chat was right. Good job. Very proud of you.
I didn't fucking look at your chat, dude. I would never look at what these infants have to say because they track your logic, which means they're.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
You said infants?
That was so funny. Sorry, what?
Okay.
Yes, the infants in your chat.
Do you suffer from a narcissist complex?
He does. You can tell.
No, I just believe that everybody that watches you has to be a lower intelligence, 100%. Just the way that you make arguments. Okay, so if you get in a car, does that mean you're responsible for getting hit? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, so,
Again, this is a moral.
Wait. So you're saying that it's unintelligent to suggest an operating principle. That operating principle being that if you engage in an action that yields a potentiality for a certain outcome, that if that outcome occurs, you're always responsible. You just called your own argument unintelligent, buddy. When you're calling the chat infants, in all reality, you're just merely projecting.
I'm not projecting anything, but not absolutely not. I don't associate with
projecting.
Cretins.
Yep.
Mud dwellers in your comment section.
You are a narcissistic, projecting meat watcher.
Well, at least the Cretan mud-dwelling infants knew how many people served in the House of Representatives and were able to comment that there's 100 senators while you're still considering if there's 1 or 2 in any given state. So I don't know, man. Maybe
Dude, I'm telling you, nobody knows anything that watches you. Nobody put out a decent number. The only number I saw was 67 in your comments because they were trying to mislead me.
So maybe the mud-dwelling Cretan infants, if they're more intelligent than you, what does that make you, my friend?
Stop it, Dean. Now you're just making mute points.
I'm making mute points, yeah.
You are. You're making mute points.
Yeah.
I literally watched you. You were slurring your words and everything that you were saying to Nick Fuentes on that debate. So I'm not going to hear that. I literally watched you mispronounce so many words. We're not going to make that argument that I just by definition am an idiot because I fucking said the wrong word by accident.
No, you're by definition an idiot because you're an idiot.
You did not. You absolutely did not. You were completely outclassed in every regard. And guess what? I don't agree with him on everything by any means. And he obliterated you.
So last week you said that you stay up to date with politics. Last week, did the Trump administration repeal some of their tariffs on cow products and coffee to reduce their prices since tariffs increased?
I'm not paying attention to what the fuck the Trump administration is doing right now.
You said you watch politics every day.
Yeah. So the answer to the question, Christopher, would be they did.
Well, politics
right?
are
the answer to the question, Christopher, if you're going to listen to me here, the answer to the question would be that yes, last week the Trump administration repealed some of their tariffs, right, to reduce the price of those goods. Since when you tariff a product coming into America, ultimately a lot of that is passed off to the consumer via an increase in the price of that foreign produced good. Now, here's the thing. What is the first topic that I debated with Nick Fuentes?
I want to say it was Kamala versus Trump, or was it tariffs?
Kamala.
The whole thing was over should Trump be the next president, and it was tariffs. Okay, so what I debated him on, right, was the notion that tariffs can increase the cost of consumer goods because that tariff is inevitably passed off to the consumer. Nick Fuentes argued that no, the tariffs would not do that. And inside of that 10, 15-minute debate, not only did I get him to concede on that whole debate topic, but then was proven right by the Trump administration not even a week ago. So for you to sit here and tell me that I got stomped on when I was the one aligned with the reality and he was the one that was obviously so delusioned, only shows your own delusion.
Dean, you weren't wrong.
These come down to moral incongruencies between people. It is my moral prerogative to believe that it's wrong to snuff out potential consciousness and the facilitation of our own species. I believe that.
What the fuck does that have to do with tariffs?
Possibly value.
Hey, what the fuck does that
This
have
is
to do
what
with
I
tariffs?
came on here to debate you about.
Yeah,
in
you
general.
came
I'm
up
just
here
saying
on your
something-
debate, bro.
No, you and Nick Fuentes,
knocked you off of
you and
your
Nick Fuentes
pivot.
have moral
Get back to
incongruencies
the
with each other,
tariffs.
and therefore, not everything has to boil down to source. Source? Where's your source?
So could you please demonstrate the moral incongruence in the debate that I had with him about the efficacy of tariffs and if they increase the price of consumer goods? And keep in mind, if you cannot demonstrate a moral incongruence, then you're demonstrating that you're pivoting.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear that tariffs are bipartisan to begin with. All right.
Okay,
On
so
top,
let-
like
so let me
Biden
be
kept
clear-
his tariffs in his first administration.
But let me be clear that I shit on Nick Fuentes in the first topic debate I had with him about the nature of tariffs and if they cause inflation for the price of consumer goods.
No.
Oh, how so?
You didn't win.
Oh, how did I not win when I was right and he was wrong? Right? If like
you didn't win.
Right? Like
did he concede to
That
you?
sounds like a caveman answer, Dean. You know win.
Did he concede to you?
Well, if winning a debate requires a concession, I think that you're disillusioned. But I think
No,
I think,
it requires a subjective interpretation.
I think
is
that
what
he
it requires.
I think that he might.
My
have.
subjective interpretation.
So give me a fair subjective interpretation of the debate that I had with him on tariffs to demonstrate that I didn't absolutely destroy him.
I cannot verbatim recall your one argument with Nick
Do
Fuentes
you want
on
to
tariffs.
listen? Do you want to listen to it?
But I will tell you that tariffs are beneficial
Your
across
friend,
the board.
listen. Your friend is saying to play it back. Should we play it back?
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted a clip of it on TikTok. Let me find it here.
What did Aiden Ross?
Who's this idiot in your comments saying it requires an objective
Who
interpretation?
did Aiden Ross say one? Who?
Okay, we're trying to load it up here.
You know win, chat. Really quick while he loads that. Mary, thank you so much for the 10. I really appreciate you. Ryan, thank you as well for the 10. Rose, thank you so much for the 10. You're awesome. Allison, thank you for the 3. And also, Sophie, thank you for the 4. You guys are all appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, it's not
Also,
loading
while
up.
Dean is doing this, make sure that you guys are tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 1 million likes if you'd like to support Dean. The P and the V, it's listed above his head. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, but you can also hit that pay link. Make sure you're liking the stream over on YouTube as well. Get the likes up. It helps push the stream out.
All right, let's go and listen to the debate that I had with Fuentes about tariffs.
Domestic production given tariffs because that is passed off to the consumer. Would you agree there? No, absolutely not. If they don't cause inflation of the pricing of goods at the grocery store, then why would we see an increase in domestic production?
Because it will make it competitive for America to make the same things.
How?
If China, because it's basic math. If it costs I'm going to, if you stop interrupting me. If it costs less to make something in China because they have abundant labor than it does in the United States, then China can sell it at a lower price because their cost is lower. But if we make them pay more to bring their goods to the market, then they have to sell it for more, or they have to pay the tariff and they make less profit. And that makes it profitable. China pays the cost to bring it to the market, not the consumer.
And who pays the cost once it's in the market?
Well, the consumer does.
Thank you.
But they're buying. But they're buying what they're already buying. They're just buying it from an American producer.
Yeah, for a higher price, right?
Yeah, for a slightly marginally higher price, so we can have American production.
Okay, Keep in mind, this debate is the one that he's saying I got like stomped on. And
You got stomped on.
He literally gave a concession. That was a concession. He gave a concession.
That he said yes, it ultimately does fall on the consumer to a slight
That's the
extent.
point.
So to equalize the market and to recenter and
should we just
he gave a concession.
Listen back to the first thing you said in the video, dude.
We see an increase in domestic production given tariffs because that is passed off to the consumer. Would you agree there?
No, absolutely not.
Dude! Brother! Come on, you're gonna sit here and like delusionally defend a neo-Nazi, a virgin neo-Nazi, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi that thinks the age of consent should be lowered, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi that thinks the age of consent should be lowered, and lives in his mother's basement. In that debate, really?
How long ago was that clip when he talked about the age should be lower, buddy?
Month? 2?
You're no, you're just going based off like you're judging people based off clips. You guys are.
Yeah, if you get clips saying that the age of consent should be lowered, I'm gonna judge the fuck out of you, right? That's fair.
Okay, anybody that understands a modicum of how economics works understand that it's ultimately going to fall on the consumer when we add tariffs. All right,
so then you agree that Nick Fuentes was completely lost and doesn't even understand the modicum
because the ultimate outcome of that is recentering industrialization here, and that's why we have
it doesn't work that way.
Wait, here. Yes, we do. Literally, the Honda.
Don't take the bait, Santana. This is bait. He's trying to pivot. He's trying to pivot right to a conversation between me and him about the efficacy of tariffs compared to conceding right his claim that Nick Fuentes dog walked me in the debate that I had with him. Right, as soon as you concede that Nick Fuentes is a low IQ virgin neo-Nazi that lives in his mother's basement and got dog walked by a 20-year-old or even 19, I think it was 19 at the time, by a 19-year-old in a debate about the economy, we'll happily move on to a conversation about tariffs between the two of us, the three of us, or a conversation about the morality of abortion.
We can agree that Trump has gone overboard with the targeted tariffs.
We're not even talking about Trump. We're talking about Fuentes, right? The virgin neo-Nazi that got shit on.
We're talking about anything you want to talk about. I came up here to talk about abortion. Then you want to say that?
Yeah, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're the guy that made the claim that Nick Fuentes beat me in a debate. I didn't know I was pivoting for proving you wrong.
No, that is about. We're talking about abortion. All right, that's really where I'd like to recenter this.
Were you talking about abortion when you said that Nick Fuentes destroyed me?
You're the one that
Wait, I forced you to say his name? I forced you to make that claim?
You pivoted initially.
I didn't even pivot to this. No, you brought this up because you thought that you'd used the debate. You thought that I'd used the debate. You thought that you'd use the debate that I had with Nick Fuentes to demonstrate that I'm an unintelligent guy, when in all reality, right, that's just one of the debates that proves the opposite.
I wouldn't say that you're unintelligent completely. I just think that you're disingenuous in how you utilize that intelligence to profit and capitalize off of these idiots that watch you, because I don't think you're as stupid as you make yourself out to be at all.
Okay, well, I mean, you just made yourself sound really stupid because you just said I'm intelligent, but you're a grifter, but you're stupid.
Yep. Also,
you are using your intelligence to capitalize.
Brian for the 15 says, thank you for what you're doing. Brian, I really appreciate you. W's in the chat.
Brandon, speaking of capitalization, Brandon, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Says he doesn't even suffer from his narcissism. Everybody else does. Yeah, good fucking point. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for the $10, Brandon. Nicole, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much, Nicole. Evelyn, thank you for the $10, who says, thank you for always challenging the MAGA dumbasses. Now, out of curiosity, I'm not going to finish that sentence, Evelyn, but I do really appreciate you so much for the love. Mark, thank you for the $5, with another $5 too. Thank you so much. And then over on Super Chat, yo, Lotus, thank you so much for the 50, sorry, not for the 50, for the 70 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, Lotus. Show some love to wonderful Lotus down below in that chat for the 70 Canadian dollars, who says, please pass this to the wonderful Santana, best argument about birth control. Dude, I owe some money to Santana. Santana, when am I going to...
You already know what I'm going to say.
You already know what I'm going to say. When am I going to see you next, man?
Soon.
I see you soon.
I'm going to be hopping... I mean, you know, like, the government is no longer shut down, so, like, I can fly again.
Right.
I'm not worried... Well, still kind of worried about planes falling out of the sky.
Right, yeah, man. You're going to get a real nice dinner on me, dude. A real nice dinner on me. Abigail, thank you so much for the $10 who says I've taught 1-year-olds with more class than these idiots. Appreciate you for the $10, Abigail. Show some love to Abigail down below in that chat. Evie, that is Evie. Sorry, Eve. It's probably just pronounced Eve. Jesus. Eve, that is EVE. Thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Eve. Eve with the $25 says, daily listener, first-time donor from the UK. The work that you do gives me hope for the future of humanity. Thank you, Eve. You're awesome. As well as, hi, Ilda. Thank you for the $7. Scrawny, thank you for the 3. And Allison, thank you for the $3 as well. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. If you want to help me capitalize off of the grift by misapplying my intelligence to convince you guys of lies, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, pinned message on YouTube, and at the top of the phone screen. Now, Christopher, are you worth any more of my time?
I don't think so.
No.
I have nothing.
Should we quickly just run him in a quick loop on abortion?
Yeah.
Let's just get him in a quick knot.
And they're so desperate for it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you after they're done.
We're gonna get him in a quick knot here on abortion. Sub 30 seconds. Somebody turn the clock on. Christopher, what's your position?
My position or his?
Was that you leaving your mom's basement just now?
No. He was leaving his.
I'm allowed to live with other people, Santana.
So Christopher, what's the position on abortion? Come on, be quick. I'm trying to speed run you real quick.
Abortion should be illegal across the board.
Yeah, why? Come on.
It should be illegal because it's snuffing out the potential for conscious life to develop.
Okay. So killing life with a potential future consciousness should be illegal. Is it murder?
Yes.
Okay, so it's murder to kill life that has a potential for future consciousness. Should all murderers go to jail? Like if you were dictator?
Yeah, murderers should go to jail.
Okay. What about serial murderers, serial killers? Should they be should they go to jail for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, I think if you murder anybody, you should go to jail.
Okay,
yes.
if you murder anybody, you should go to jail. And murder would include the killing of life with a future potential for consciousness. When does human life begin?
At conception.
Does it have the potential for future consciousness at the moment of conception?
Yes.
So if you kill
not always, but for the most part, yes, it has the potential.
Okay, so if you kill a zygote, it makes you a murderer?
Yes.
Okay, so if you kill a zygote, it makes you a murderer. So if you kill a zygote, you should go to jail.
Yes.
Okay, so
if you intentionally kill a zygote, yes, via abortion.
Intentionally. So if a woman with an IUD, right, engages in sex knowing that can kill a zygote, and it does kill a zygote, is she a murderer?
IUD should be illegal.
That's not what I asked you. Is she a murderer?
Yes.
Okay, so women with IUDs that are sexually active, knowing that they can kill zygotes, if they do kill zygotes, should be in prison for the rest of their lives?
After we make it illegal, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. You just got absolutely dunked on. But let me get this straight. If you boast about sexually exploiting women and girls at a beauty pageant, if you're held civilly liable for raping E. Jean Carroll, if you hit on a 10-year-old girl, you're best friends with Epstein, you should be president. But if you're a woman that's sexually active on birth control, you should go to jail for the rest of your life. Yeah, so see, the way that I just won this argument in less than a minute tops was by demonstrating the absurdity of your logical positions.
Dean, you're the one that forces people to say that they like Trump to get on your fucking thing in the first place. That's all, because you can't debate competent people that can simultaneously disagree with somebody and also have their own thoughts.
Still didn't get to debate a competent person.
Yeah. All right. I said that we move on pretty quickly. Thanks for playing, Christopher. Right, you just got put into the wash machine. You got put into the wash machine. That's how it goes.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Go grab some sushi with my wife. I appreciate you having me up.
Hey, man, you have a great rest of your day. Sushi. That just brought up.
You know it.
Take care. I appreciate you so much for joining us.
See you, bro.
That just brought up a terrible thought in my head from a guest that we had on a couple days ago by the name of Steven. I need y'all to listen to this. Of course, it's not playing. All right, while I'm trying to load up this clip, which is seemingly going to require me restarting my phone here. There it goes.
He might be a trans testicle. What? I think he might be a trans testicle. What the fuck is a trans testicle? Well, man, I don't know. They start chopping off their stuff, man, like sushi. I couldn't tell you. You're a Democrat.
Jesus Christ. Now, every time I hear the word sushi, I'm like, oh my God. I have a very bad mental connection now to sushi. Just God, that guy was crazy. That guy was nuts, dude. Fucking hell. Lotus, thank you so much for another $70 over on Super Chat. Holy fuck, Lotus. Lotus with the $70. Thank you so much. I want to see 700 Lotus W's. Says how to send you money as well because you were just being an honest young person. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you so much for your kindness, Lotus. I really appreciate you so much for your support. I appreciate you for being here, and you're an absolute queen. Show some love to Lotus down below in that comment section. What is going on, anti-lib? Do you support Trump?
Dean, explain yourself. We saw the photos. We know you're friends with Jeffrey Einstein!
Dude, that fetus has been trolling for way too long, okay? That fetus, dude, I'm 21. I'm 21. Okay? All right? Back when Epstein was in business, I wasn't even conceived yet, my friend. I wasn't even a thought in my mother's head. All right? But you know what? I was connected somehow. I'm in the files. So real. Get the hell out of here. You sound crazy. Moving on to the next guest. You said Einstein? I thought I heard Epstein. I'm on the Einstein list. I'm on the Einstein list, everybody. What's up? Do you support Trump?
She said, nigga, I thought it was some in here. Some, it's only one.
Their name's Just Talking, and to be fair, they are just talking. Moving on
How's
to the
it
next
going,
guest.
Dean?
What's going
It's your
on?
favorite groiper. How's it going, Dean?
Dude.
Wait,
Dude,
we have to have a
stop,
conversation.
Stop making the accounts.
Dean, we have to have a conversation.
Oh my God.
When are you going to sit down and talk with me?
Never. I don't think I have a favorite groiper. I think that all groipers are just equally as lame. What's up? Do you support Trump? Looks like Robin's operating some machinery over there, so we're gonna move on. By the way, guys, we only have around another 22. We have around another 22 minutes on the live before we have to head out. I gotta go drive up to my father's house. Hey, Corey, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. He says, not to read that off on live. Okay, I will not read that off on live, Corey. I appreciate you so much. Maze, thank you for the $10, and Katrina with a 5. Thank you so much, Corey, Maze, and Katrina. All right, what's up? Do you support Trump?
How's it going, Dean? Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
19.
What year were you born in?
2006, October 5th.
And why do you support this predator as president?
I support him because of his abortion policy, as well as some, not all, of his economic policy.
Okay, so abortion should be banned, right?
In most cases, yeah.
How many holes do women typically have below the waist?
How many holes? 3.
Wow, okay. And where does conception occur?
In the uterus?
And in the fallopian tubes.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm not an expert on women biology, but
I just
close enough.
I just saw a comment over on YouTube who says, not gonna lie, disappointed in Dean for making a weird thing out of asexuality. Well, I hope I could clarify. I don't think it's like weird or wrong to be asexual. And the only reason why I made that a notable point when describing Nick Fuentes is because he exists inside of a prejudice movement that shits on all non-hetero individuals. Okay? All right. He upholds a system of systemic oppression, right? To discriminate all non-hetero individuals. Yet he himself is non-hetero. That's not a player to condemn hypocrisy. Okay, so what time is it?
5:40 p.m.
Okay, and the only reason why you support Trump is because he thinks that abortion should be banned. So why should abortion be banned?
Abortion should be, well, not in all cases, but I think in most cases, abortion should be illegal. Well, because all fetuses are human, and humans, if you kill a human, it's murder. So abortion, I think, is murder.
So if killing humans is murder, then pulling the plug on brain dead patients in the hospital is murder, since you are killing that human life, right?
Wrong. That's not murder.
Okay, so it's not always murder to kill humans. So then when is it murder to kill humans?
I think if they have potential sentience or potential viability. If you pull the plug on a brain dead patient, they
So why should I care about future potential sentience?
I think because it has moral value.
Why is that?
I'm not gonna get into religion, but I think it has moral value.
Why should I attribute moral value to future potential sentience?
Well, because if you let that human develop and eventually be born, they are gonna be able to have their own experiences, their own life, their own
Okay, you're basically saying
relationships.
that we should attribute moral value, we should attribute moral significance to things that would aid and abet in the future production of an individual like you or I.
I think so. That's fair. That's a fair point.
So if like something, right, like terminates the possibility of a future person like you or I existing, then it's morally wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
If my dad pulled out, I wouldn't be here. That would have been the termination of the future existence of an individual like you or I. So therefore, it would have been morally wrong for my dad to pull out.
Well, we don't know that pulling out game is not always. It's not 100%.
Well, the reason why I use my dad as an example is because I exist today because of an act of intercourse, and we'd be assuming that it would be 100%. So if my dad pulled out, I wouldn't be here today. Therefore, if my dad pulled out, would it have been morally wrong?
No, because there was no life that began. You know.
Oh, but it would still be
Conception didn't occur.
But it'd still be terminating the future potential of an individual like you or I existing.
It wouldn't, because if he didn't pull out, we don't know for sure if conception would have occurred. You know.
Yes, we do, because I'm here today.
Yeah, but if he not pulled out, we don't know that for sure because he pulled out. You know.
We do know for sure that if my dad pulled out and it was accurate and it was effective, I would not be here today, because conception requires a sperm and an egg. And if he completely effectively pulled out, there would have been no sperm.
Well, you do know that pulling out is not 100% effective.
Right, and we're assuming that in this scenario that it would be. So if my dad pulled out and it was 100% effective, would that have been morally wrong?
I don't think so, because there's no life yet.
Okay, so then you don't value future potential life on its own. You value the current existence of human life, right? Which would then conflict with your position that it's murder to pull the plug on a brain dead patient.
How so?
Because you're telling me it's not the future potential existence of an individual like you or I that's morally relevant, but rather the actual existence of a human being, right? Regardless of their future capacities.
Right, but because there's already a human there, therefore they have future potential sentience. I can't just say, oh, some random ass person that doesn't exist yet, they're morally wrong if their dad pulls out because they don't exist yet.
But what we're talking about is engaging in actions that terminate the future existence of an individual like you or I. And you agreed that your stance was the termination of engaging in actions that terminate the future existence of an individual like you or I is morally wrong. You said that, right? That was your position. You said, yes, Dean, that is my position. Are you now revising your position? Are you walking it back?
Yeah, I'll revise it. I think if conception occurred or life exists, then then that's when future or potential sentience is valued. If you kill a man, you don't kill 100 million people because you killed all the sperm.
So then it's murder to kill a zygote.
Yeah.
That is so unintuitive. Do you think that all human life is just as valuable as the next one, given that they all have sentience today or the future potential for sentience?
No, I don't think so.
No, you think that some life forms are more valuable than others. Okay. All right, but you still think that it's murder to kill a zygote. I think that that's an insane view.
Why is that?
Have you ever been friends with a woman that's sexually active with an IUD?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. So you've maybe been friends with a murderer?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So you think that women that are sexually active and kill zygotes with IUDs are murderers?
You know, that does sound kind of crazy, but...
Right. That's kind of my point. Yeah, you'd have to say yes. Do you think that murderers should be able to, like, work a regular job?
Shoot. No.
So like, women that are sexually active with IUDs shouldn't be able to work a regular job?
You got me there, Dean.
Yeah, exactly. That one is crazy. Honestly, that's almost like a better example, right, that I should continue to use compared to the whole going to jail thing. I feel like a lot of the men that come up here and argue this pro-life position don't really like care about saying, oh yes, women with IUDs should like go to jail, because they don't really care about women. But then as soon as we start talking about the economy, well, now all of a sudden, if there's like a teacher, right, that's great at her job but is sexually active with an IUD, she should be fired from that position because she's literally a murderer. And we should like seclude so many individuals in this country from being able to like join the labor force because they're murderers, right? Like, see, that's the absurdity in the position. And I feel like that's why you need to like revise your position beyond just saying that, well, future potential sentience matters.
All right, that's a fair point. But I do think that a fetus does have moral value.
Well, I mean, the reason that you just gave me insofar as why you think that the fetus's moral value ultimately amounted to an extreme absurdity of arguing that women should be fired from their job if they're sexually active with an IUD.
Yeah, I'm dismissing that point.
Well, so
because yeah,
basically, right? Because your logic directly implies that women should be fired from their jobs if they're sexually active with an IUD and that abortion is murder. Therefore, under your view, it is just as likely that it is true that abortion is murder as it is likely that it is true that women that are sexually active with IUDs are murderers that should be fired from their jobs. Obviously, it is absurd, right, to argue that second point, and the likelihood of that being true in all reality is incredibly low, right? Therefore, we should treat, right, the other claim, the adjacent claim that abortion is murder, following your logic, with the same approach, right? It just seems unlikely to be the case because your logic is insane.
yeah, I'd agree with you there.
Okay.
That's kind of insane. Yeah.
Anything else you want to go over?
Well, would you say, what about like when a fetus is viable outside the womb, like late term abortion? What do you think about that? Because I think that would be murder, no?
Late-term abortions, especially after viability, are done with life-saving means, such as an emergency C-section or the induction of labor.
Yeah, most of the time. But I'm saying, if a woman wants an elective abortion that late in her pregnancy,
Like an elective,
do you think that's...
if a woman gets an elective lethal abortion at like fucking 37 weeks, according to my moral position, that is murder, but it also doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying if a woman wanted that, since, you know, she's pro-choice, then that'd be okay.
Well, I mean, I just told you, I think it'd be morally wrong.
Okay.
Right, but you understand by like 35 weeks, right? The parents already have the name picked out. They're probably building the crib, buying the clothes, already had the gender reveal party. And if a woman is getting an elective, a lethal abortion at that point, it's not because she wants to, it's because she has to save her own life because of health complications. The fetus is going to die nonetheless, so on and so forth. Right? Can you give me 3 individual circumstances of women getting lethal, elective, late-term abortions? Just 3. There's over 1 million abortions a year. It should be pretty easy to give 3 examples of this happening in the last 50 years, right?
Dean, I can't even give you one.
Exactly. And honestly, I haven't been able to find one. I've been looking for years, man. I've been looking for fucking years. I've never found a single scenario of a woman legitimately getting an elective lethal abortions in late term. And that's why, like, no one's pushing for bans on elective late term abortions. Like, they're legal in many states.
Because it doesn't happen.
Right? They're legal in many states. But the reason why Trump isn't, screaming from the top of the tower, right? Screaming from the Oval about how we need to get federal policy to ban all lethal elective late term abortions is because, right, it literally doesn't happen, right? That's just called birth, right? An abortion that's in late term is birth. It's induction. It's a C-section.
True. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's also, right, like, also a good thing to maybe not necessarily support a legal ban on elective lethal late-term abortions, because then that scares the shit out of medical health professionals and also requires, like, certain conditions to be met before they'd be willing to perform a life-saving abortion on women. And because, like, I can name, right, like, a couple circumstances here of women dying because their doctors were too scared to perform a life-saving abortion on them because of elective abortion bans in that 3rd trimester. And I can't name a single circumstance of a woman legitimately getting an elective lethal abortion in that 3rd trimester because it's legal. I'm just going to say here that I want to, like, save as much valuable life as possible, and seemingly the way to do that pragmatically is to not support a late-term elective lethal abortion ban.
Okay, that's fair. I think that so you think if the fetus, let's just say, just given a number before 20 weeks, aborting a fetus before then, in your stance is okay?
Yeah, completely okay.
Okay. And I do see that, actually.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe, like, I think about this pragmatic issue of how do we legislate on late-term abortions, right? A little bit, right? And I think that maybe, right, like, the best way to move forward is just to, like, pass hard legislation saying that it is up to the woman and the doctor, right? If the doctor thinks that this pregnancy is threatening the life of the woman, if this doctor thinks that this pregnancy will introduce health complications or obscene risk, if this doctor thinks that this pregnancy, right, is this, that, or the other, then they should be able to perform it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to move forward.
Yep.
Not gonna lie.
Yep. All right. Yeah. It's just it's really hard to have a governmental involvement with a lot of things that are medical. But I appreciate you for coming up and being good faith, man. You have a good rest of your day. We just got a flag. I don't know. Looks like it's probably for the anxiety pin. Whoops. And thank you so much for the 100 medical. But I appreciate you got a flag. Thank you so much for your kindness, dude. Show some love to Anne down below in that chat. That is so incredibly kind of you. Anne with a $100 says, you know more about polling. You know more than any polling or other political organization about the young American electorate. I don't know, Anne. I actually don't think I know too much about the young American electorate. It kind of scares the shit out of me, right? Not knowing too much, right? You know, one thing will say they're swinging to the right. Something else will say they're still voting big in numbers for the blue. Like, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared about the young American electorate. And I wish I knew more, but I really appreciate you so much for the $100, and I think that you're awesome. Please show some love to Anne down below in that comment section for the $100. And Cassie, thank you for the $10, who says, most of my family disowned me, so I spent yesterday alone watching you and Parker. And you and Parker were the only things I had to look forward to. Oh, well, Cassie, I'm sorry about that. You know, it's hard, you know, being in conflict with your family. It's really hard. Been there many times myself. It's not fun at all. As well as, let's see here. Do we have anybody else? Doesn't look like it. Well, folks, we have around another 7 minutes on stream. We'll get our last guest up here right now. If you want to support me before I do hop off, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok. Top of the phone screen and pin message over on YouTube. You guys have been very kind and shown up and shown out today. And honestly, we only have 25 guest requests. I don't really know if we're going to be able to find another Trump supporter. If we can't, we are just going to go to end the stream. What's up, lady? You support Trump?
Okay, I don't support Trump, but I just wanted to say...
You were awesome. Just looking for Maga. What's up, the Lady Blue? Do you support Trump? Hello? Lady Blue's not here. Yeah, I don't think that we're going to be able to find a Trump supporter to have a cogent debate within the next 7 minutes, considering the fact that there's not too many people in the queue, and most of the people in the queue look like liberals. So my plan for the rest of the day is I'm going to go hop in my car and hit the fucking road, driving to my father's house. He lives in the middle of the goddamn nowhere. Join a little bit of a Thanksgiving meal with him. And then tomorrow is my mother's birthday. So I'm going to be going live maybe around 1 p.m. MST tomorrow. Spending some time with, and then I'm going to hop off and spend some time with her. I'm going to take her out to dinner. I'm taking my mom, brother, sister, and girlfriend out to dinner to celebrate the big day. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. All right, folks. I apologize for a little bit of a shorter stream today. All right, on YouTube, we're only 2 hours and 45 minutes in. In all reality, we've been live for close to 4 hours, but the first hour of the stream was spent on dealing with bullshit. But before we hop off, I actually just saw somebody in the comment section. We need to talk to them real quick.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to. Wait, one more.
You spamming in the chat. Why are you scared of me, Dean? What a weirdo. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you couldn't see his camera, but he had his feet on camera. What a weirdo. Okay. It's time to sign off for me. See you tomorrow, folks. Peace and love, guys. Dean